right. Heck yeah. There we go, man. We're streaming live. Thank you so much for coming in. Mecha Ducky, obviously, I know you, dude. Happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for
Happy
coming in.
Thanksgiving.
Thanks for doing this on Thanksgiving. I really appreciate that. Because I understand you are not at your natural homestead at the moment. You are at like
Right.
a family gathering even doing this.
Yeah. I had to pull up in the basement and just get like a little area situated.
Fuck, man. Well, I really appreciate you coming in because I always kind of name drop you when we're in the chats and shit, but you are absolutely like the toy connoisseur for Safubi, especially, I would say, man. And I don't want to be like that corny person and ask like the standard question that's like, how long have you been into toys? But I am curious. Did you have a dip at all when like you were a kid and then when you're like adulthood where you weren't collecting toys, or have you been collecting toys all the way through?
It's a weird thing because I want to say it was just a change of like the type of toy and stuff. You know how you got people that go from Transformers and then they pick some other toy and then it kind of just changes over the years. I think it was just getting past the childhood stuff and then going into like the gunpla hobby, which is like Gundam model kits. Spending a few years with that and then like hopping over to like the more creative like vinyl toys and such.
Would you say that definitely then the Gundams were probably like building Gundams was like the gateway into seeing the soft vinyl stuff?
Sort of, maybe. It was really weird, honestly. Like if you want me to go in depth, um, I wanted to be a better painter when it came to Gundam model kits. So I was like, all right, I need some blanks. I need some blank models because I can't just keep on building these $30, $20, $50 model kits and then throwing that away for like bad paint jobs and stuff. I'm like, vinyl figure blanks, that might work. That might be more affordable. And then it just snowballed from there.
Admittedly, I kind of tease you sometimes. You seem to have some very interesting connections in the Safubi world. Is that just because you're like the friendliest motherfucker ever who appears everywhere, or is it because you've been doing Safubi for so long?
Um, it's can you rephrase that? Like I'm like trying to like take in that whole question.
Well, because the reality is, man, is like I noticed you kind of everywhere. Like I first found out about your account. You were watching a Saruga Mark live when he was going under Slugger Toys. You're often in Pop Shop lives. You're in all these different like niche groups. And I'm curious, like, have you just been doing vinyl for so long? That's how you've gotten to know so many of these guys? Or is it because you're in all these spaces?
Uh, I I'd have to say it's a mix of both, just because it's like if you want to get something, you have to like really, really try your hardest to like get something. You just can't passively have like an item be on like a web store and just wait on it. You have to like actually seek it out. And one of the things that brought me to like, for instance, Pop Shop Live was when Creature Bazaar was starting some shows on there and they're having some exclusives that were like stream only. So of course you got to hop on there, otherwise you'd have to wait for resale, and that's a whole different like subject. So I got myself into Facebook groups, I got myself into Instagram and some forums and some other like social media.
So for you personally, man, like who would you say if you had to right now, top three favorite like Safubi makers?
That's that's a very difficult one because there's plenty of people and like some of them could even be like grouped up kind of. Um, in regards to like for sure, I would have to say like one of my favorite people, just because they're really humble about their work, is Science Patrols. And another person that I'm like a real fan of, just because of their efforts towards making toys, is Blue Moai, aka Meebo Studio. Really good people. Like, and they they really try their best with making toys. They have like a real passion behind it.
Would you say that you probably have like mostly those artists' toys then, being like your favorite makers
What do you mean, like that I carried their items and stuff?
that you try and acquire?
I don't like one of the things that's like the bane of like a collector's is being a completionist. So I try to pick favorites and I try not to break the bill.
Admittedly, man, like it's comical. I knew you'd say Science Patrols. Obviously, I've got your page up on my like little weird like tabs of tabs that I like to keep. And sure enough, like one of the ones I have is going to be your freaking amount of, where's that hiding now? Your amount of Science Patrol. Because you seem obsessed with this guy here. Yeah, I'm gonna call it obsessed. It is what it is. We all have that toy. This dude. What
Oh
is
yeah,
it?
that dude is fun. That's that's a little skeleton man. That's a little creation by Science Patrol. I remember when he debuted that guy, he was like real stoked about it because he said it was an original sculpt. He like I said when he's humble, he admits he's not the greatest sculptor, but when that little dude came out with the whole wonky arms and just the asymmetry of it, I thought it was like a really really fun piece that like really invoked like the artist's, hey, this is my toy, this is the way I want it to be and stuff, and this is my little guy. There was something that felt really homey about that.
And then I don't know. Did you end up by chance bringing probably the one of the most like sought after Science Patrol pieces with you today to Thanksgiving dinner?
You mean the OG one?
Do you have the OG one or the OG colorway?
The OG like colorway. I don't know if it's a first release because I remember there was what was it like a pre-order or something. Like he made a bunch of them just for the sale of these guys, and he kind of referred to the white as an open edition. Yeah, he's right over here. So this guy, this little fella is old as heck.
I love how you're so humble about it, man. You just kind of show it off. So for any of you guys that are just kind of joining in at home, Mechaducky has a very elaborate and a very humble in his probably mind, but a very insane Safubi collection, and has joined us in here today to talk about some of the stuff that he's got there. He ended up showing off one of the Safubis by Science Patrols. But do you also have one of the Cranstons? Because I am blown away by the popularity of Cranston as well, man. And maybe as an American, you can explain this to me.
The Cranstons, if you want me to elaborate further, what would you like to know about them?
What is up with, okay, please explain, like, what is the craze about them, man? What is the insanity about this guy?
So the Cranston stuff, like I want to say it's inspired, inspired by like that old hamburger look from McDonald's. So if you're familiar with the little I'm not sure of the terminology for the meals and stuff, but like the called
Like a Big Mac, or like a
the cheeseburgers and stuff. Like if you look up cheeseburger seat on on Google, you would actually find a picture of like these goofy looking cheeseburger like stools that look almost like Cranston.
Okay, there we go. The old school stools. That can fucking, now I get it. But it
And
is a
like
little,
that design is like basically kind of ingrained into McDonald's culture. And this little guy's like almost looks uncannily familiar to it. It's a real fun looking dude.
what I find crazy about that dude, man, is like the posts of that will have like 13,000, like 1,300 likes of people just basically demanding that they get one.
Yeah, they fly by like incredibly quick. Like sometimes for fun, if I'm up by a drop, I actually like time out the amount of time it takes for all of them to sell out. Sometimes it's 3 minutes, sometimes it's four. I've seen one for about 2 minutes. It's nuts. And this guy like keeps on fooling them and stuff. And he has all these complex, like expensive masks just to make these.
So for anybody who's not watching too, Do you know much about the masks that he would be using for these, man? And would you care to elaborate on some of that for us? Because like I understand, like a lot of times they're not masking the way that we would over here in the West.
Yeah, it's expensive. So let's talk about molds. Molds are like, I'm pretty sure you have friends talk about the molds for these guys that they cost around like 500 to a grand to make, and that's just a single part of it. If it's a complex figure, it gets more expensive, but the masks are about like the same price range too. And this is just for like separate colors. We can't just use one mask for let's say blue, red, and green. Let's say a color toy needs those colors, right? You have to have separate masks go on that same toy on separate locations. And if you're making like a wide release of these guys, you want to pump out as many as possible. So sometimes it's multiple of the same mask, just have like a whole factory going. And these masks are like made out of like metal. They aren't like plastic or paper or even one of my favorites, Tamiya masking tape. It's like stuff that actually has to get crafted by like third parties that the artist has to hire. So it's easier to clean, it's reusable, but sometimes wear and tear actually like, takes its toll on a mask, so it has to get replaced.
That's insanity, man. I'll be honest, I didn't realize that for every color needed a different mask for that. I did understand
Yeah,
there were big burly like steel masks. Didn't know they needed separate color, like ones for each color.
yeah. So like they have like a little like it's almost like a clamshell clamp that goes over it. Like let's say you want to get the white of this guy's eyes, you would have like a mask that like covers the entirety and just leaves the eyes exposed. And then the little black too, you would have a different mask come in after you paint this guy that covers everything, the eyes, except those little black parts right there. And it just goes on from there. But there's some vinyl artists who are insane, and what they do is just freehand it, or they just mask it themselves. No need for like a metal mask or anything.
Well, and if anything, I noticed Grody Shogun will masking like Tamiya masking tape, but I don't think I've ever seen him use a steel mold.
They're
Or
they're expensive. Um, like I know for these guys though, which is easier on the artist, he actually does a rub, like a paint rub technique on these guys, where he goes into the crevices with like a paint and just wipes off the excess and just leaves like that paint dry in between. So it's a little easier. It's not as expensive as getting like a complex mask going.
you can
And
often gift your time, basically.
yeah, and then this guy's like what, 7 pieces in total. So that'd be like 7 different masks if you're trying to do anything with it.
I think that's even something we often forget with vinyl is like you're really measuring out all the separate pieces and making sure that you get the proper like articulation joints installed.
Right.
Because
That's
like
that's another thing. Like you have to hire if the artist can't do the joint system, like cutting a joint properly themselves, they actually have to go through a separate person to actually align and get the joints going like how the artist envisions. And sometimes it's like a draft kind of process where it's like, hey, does this look good? No, change it up here and stuff. Just a lot of processing.
well at that point too, you're dealing with like photos from somebody across the ocean. You're getting waxes probably back and like photographs of
Yeah,
rough waxes. So you're trying to like see in the photographs, like, is that fitting tightly? Like,
right. Or like sometimes you're sending a clay mold, and in order to make a wax or anything, the toy gets destroyed in the process. And it's like, okay, something goes wrong, so we have to start all over again, or we have to start from the draft we have and just improve from there.
that's insane to me, man.
Yeah,
Um, you've actually sent me pictures of because like you're in Chicago. You've got like Rotofugi. Am I correct? Rotofugi is pretty close
yeah,
to you, and you've also got Toy de Jour pretty close to you.
right.
You've seen some like pretty wild art shows, and I remember you sending me pictures actually of a particular artist where their work was going for like what I would consider wild prices. And you started explaining like that's kind of how it has to be because of like the scalping market. What is up with like the flipping slash scalping market in the Safubi scene? Like, how does that kind of operate?
We also have Gallery F, but they have like different artists show up there. Like I know they had a thing for why is he slipping my mind? He's a very popular artist. Let me Google it.
But basically, the reason I ask is because like you were trying to explain to me why some of these figures can go for like $400, $500 right off the hop.
Right. The artist is JC Rivera. Very humble guy. Actually met him in person. Um, so I think that was for Shoko Nakazawa. Wait. Um, yeah, that was a
The
Shoko
little
Nakazawa
lizard
show.
guys.
Yes, yes, those guys are very popular. And the thing with those guys is that they're painted a particular way, like they're hand painted. The person actually takes time to like put in like little minute details. And one of the figures that I actually helped a friend get had like a whole like little portrait going on like the little creature's stomach, like a hand drawing. Like Shoko Nakazawa isn't just like a vinyl person; they actually do like illustrations, and they're beautiful. They're like beautiful, man, like real cute stuff. But yeah, that piece was actually hand painted. Like I'm pretty sure they spent a lot of details on the individual pieces, which is why like it's priced the way it is. And the paint application on it too was like way different than the vinyl paint that normally goes on those toys. So like I'm gonna bring out this guy. Wait, here we go. Like this little guy has like a mass production kind of like paint application to it. And the piece that I got my friend was like you could tell it was hand painted and that the quality of the paint was much different. Like it was a much richer paint with like visible brush strokes and like the little illustrations too had all these little sketch lines and everything. So it was like a little bit more personal. So like they really, really amped up on it being like a art piece.
So now I am curious because admittedly, you ended up sending over to Canada a little care package here, and there's a guy in here that I saw on your page that you ended up telling me is like quote unquote as a hype toy. Do you mind explaining what a hype toy is for the folks at
So
home?
so like I have like different categories for these toys and stuff, and like sometimes you have like lesser known toys just be like toys and stuff. Like you got your famous bootleggers in your community, and you have like bootleggers who make it big, make their own like toy line and such. And these toys are like sort of in a similar vein, maybe even like more so if we're talking about like designer toys like cause and such. We're talking about like popular, like very popular toys that like that delve outside of the range of like the toy world, let's say. Like a good one would be this character here, which is called Molly, and she's from I'm not sure if she's with Instinct Toy, but this character is barely popular. And I know in regards to Shoko Nakazawa too, that their work is very, very popular as well. Like outside of the toy world, I've honestly like seen memes on like back in the Tumblr days making fun of this little figure. They're like, look at this little fella, I need like 20 of these. And that's how that artist got a little bit more popular online. But yeah, in regards to hype toys, it's like toys that like fetch a lot of money on like the aftermarket. Like if you miss the initial release or if you're trying to get a certain color of one and you don't like make the cut on a drop, the price skyrockets and it's because of like flippers and people trying to make a profit off of a purchase. So
Like
like
scarcity.
right. So hype as in, follow the train, get the loot and sell because of the hype.
Fair. And then when you look at something like is it Inherito? How do you pronounce that? I'm sorry. Toys. The company that you were even just looking at there, that makes Fluffy Monster.
Fluffy Monster. I think that's Instinct Toys.
Instinct Toys. Yeah. Hiroto Okubo. And it does look like Instinct does also make the Molly figure that you were just holding up. So is Instinct Toys like, would that essentially be almost kind of like Lulu Bell toys?
I'm not familiar with the Lulu Bell toys. Well,
Fair.
I've heard the name. I've heard the name.
But like a producer, because like Lulu Bell basically pulls vinyl for
Oh, right,
Anonymous
right,
Rat.
right. Okay. I'm trying to like look up who makes Fluffy Monster like right now. I want to get my facts straight. I don't want to just like tell people random stuff on the internet. But
Weird. I'm
I
digging into it. I want to see what the heck it is. I
it's
see
saying
it,
it's
but
like Instinct Toy that's associated with them. I think that's the company and like the artist probably works in that company.
I'll admit with vinyl, and I do see that you threw in some weird little critters here. So this is something that I don't understand though, because like, so who would? Damn, dude, that's a like. So like in this case here, would the art like who would be the actual sculptor, or artist, or original like creator of something like this?
I would say the company behind it's Instinct Toy, in my
Instinct
opinion.
Toy.
Yeah, because that blind box I got it from that series is like a collaboration of different artists.
What in the fuck, dude? Would like I'll be honest, I don't know because I really don't seem to know much about like Safubi. Would something like this would be a rainbow vinyl probably or an airbrush?
It's airbrush work. I'm not sure what you mean by
God
the term like
damn.
rainbow vinyl. Like, are you
Well,
talking about like when it's pulled? I think it probably comes out clear, and the application is like of paints is afterwards. The
jeez.
if I wanted to find out myself, I would take an acetone and actually get the paint off, but I don't want to
Oh,
ruin it.
I
I mean, that's how you find out, like what the natural vinyl is.
guess that's fair, right? How do you find out if a magic card is a true authentic? You rip it in the middle and
Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So, but what's insane to me is this is a pretty good example where it's like that's insanely clean paint work, man.
right. So it has to be like I want to say like what's the term?
Damn.
It's made for like mass production.
I guess. I mean,
Unless like
yeah. I mean, it would have to be if right, like,
right.
but nonetheless, like that doesn't seem quick and easy to have to like put that on there.
No, no, it doesn't. There's like minute differences between the same colorways too. Like if you were to get two different ones, the eyes would be like a little different and all that. So maybe it is like made with like a
Fuck.
process of having different masks and all. But sometimes it's a wonder. Like I've seen how they paint up like what's it figure arts figures, which are like like posable action figures and such. And it's like a whole factory line of people with like airbrushes and stuff. Who knows if it's the same process? But man, I'm not there to tell you myself.
And now, of course, I have to know what the heck are these little Kinder dudes?
Yeah, I just shoved those in there because I thought it'd be funny.
What the heck, man? I'll admit, our Kinder surprises I don't think come so top quality.
No, I mean I'm gonna be like brutal in general. I think Kinders went downhill like over the years. If you go on eBay and look up some of their older toys, they're like, damn, this little lowrider car is popping. What the hell happened?
Some of the like old like metal stuff. You threw in like a little Lego thing. What is it? What am I looking at here?
I got that
What?
from Toys Store from one of my favorite machines in there.
Oh, was that stupid
The chicken
chicken?
machine. The chicken machine that made it audible in that gallery that I put quarters in that damn thing. The one that was going on for like 2 minutes where the owner showed up and was like, hey, if nothing comes out, let me know.
Do you collect Hot Wheels? How do you always seem to grab?
Passively, but go on. What
Well,
were you
because
gonna
I
say?
know there's been several times this guy will like remember things about people and snag Hot Wheels.
Yeah, yeah.
How?
I'm gonna treat you like I treat my nephews. If you tell me like, oh, I like Batmobiles, I'm just gonna pick up a Batmobile while I pass by. I don't care.
Fuck, man. And like I'm excited to try this shit because, of course, I've been turned on to it by fucking Saruga. Is this some kind of spicy sucker?
Yeah, don't bite into it. Just let it sit. Don't bite into it unless you want to break your teeth.
All right.
I'm
There you
surprised
have
they
it,
let
folks.
they let that package through with that.
There is a lot of candy in here, dude. Yo, okay. Oh, is that a clump of your dog's fur, dog?
Hey, that was your personal request, okay? That was you asking for that. I don't know what kind of Buffalo Bill kind of stuff you're into, but
I'm surprised this made it through.
I I took video of me doing that. Remember?
So there you have it. Yeah. And okay, now I'm curious too.
Dingy Dave. I think that's his profile name. I ordered about 5 of those keychains because I really liked that design. I thought it was awesome. And I bought like way too many and they were just sitting. So I'm just like, why the hell not?
Okay. So, dude, I remember one day I must have been like in a 2.5, and Dingy Dave was doing a Pop Smart. I was like, I'm not hopping on fucking Pop Smart. I'm not doing it, especially not for fucking Dingy Dave. And you sent me a post being like, dude, you can get these
Yeah,
really
yeah.
fucking.
Those things are awesome. They like glow. I remember I just keep on telling myself that I have to like put his little like he sent me a little freebie and it was a shrunken head magnet. I have it on my shelf. And I remember that's what helped me like put that in your package because like every time I'd go to bed, I'd have that thing on the shelf and it would emit so much goddamn light. I'm like, what the hell is that? And I have to remind myself, oh yeah, that's that little freebie that I have to find a spot for that Dingy Dave sent me.
Is he
Because
somebody would? Do you chat with Dingy Dave at this point? Is he some?
no, I think he noticed the fact that I ordered 5 fucking keychains and he's like, this guy could have just gotten a Cyclops for me. Like, why the fuck did he order 5 5 keychains? So he probably felt bad or something like that because he's just like, fuck it. I don't know. Like it was like an unsolicited freebie, and I'm just like, well, thank you. Like I honestly, I just remembered now. I have to send him a thank you.
Toys Alive, reminding you to thank your toy person.
Great dude.
He seems really, really, really nice, man. And
Yeah.
then, admittedly, you sniped this guy here, Toy de Jour, because you're hilarious. That's what I'm gonna call it. You're a funny guy, Mecha Ducky.
Yeah, that little fella.
You're a funny dude, man. Okay. This guy is insane to me, man. This is a lot of fucking fun.
Yeah, that's a fun guy. Like honestly, that this series he came from was called Kaiju Hunting 2.0, I think. You got the box. What does it say on there? I know it has a bunch of Japanese, but like
It
the
says
numbers on there.
Kaiju Hunting 2.5. You nailed it,
Oh,
man.
no, I said 2.0. 2.5.
Oh,
So it was a re-edition of their second release. And the second release was when a lot of people were like, damn, this Kaiju Hunting box has some baller ass stuff. Um Side story, those I've actually seen people quarrel on like seller streams like Pop Shop Live and stuff. They'd fight over certain characters about that just because of like different internet speeds and all that. And it's one of those things where I saw it like happen in person. I'm just like, yep, I'm not gonna buy from this stream. I'm not gonna get, tossed in that mess.
vinyl is very different from resin in the sense that I understand like people can get very like feisty
Yeah,
over particular grabs, man.
they
Do
get
you
feisty. They get there's a lot more bootlegging and stuff. There's a lot of drama going on.
bootlegging and Safubi?
Yes, it actually happens. The Molly character I showed you, this one right here. I remember there was a whole story about someone actually taking a 3D scan of one of the large figures, recording video of them taking the 3D scan on the purpose that they were going to make bootlegs of it. Yeah, that actually happened.
Dude, I love that shit. That's like who
It's
records the
crazy.
evidence?
Right. They're like the evidence was in that fucking video that they were doing like a 3D scan of it, and I'm just like, first of all, 3D scan technology. Second of all, you're filming it. I don't know.
Yeah, just mold and cast it. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
All right, Megaducky, man. I don't want to hold you up too much longer. I've eaten up about 30 minutes of your Thanksgiving evening here. Is there anything?
They're that they're how do I say? They're currently most of them are napping right now, so it's like no biggie.
There, man. Is there other things that you would like to teach us or show us from the Safubi world, though?
Uh, honestly, I brought a pretty damn big box with me, and I put a lot of things in there.
Lay it out, man. Lay it out. I'm gonna put you on speaker view, and I'm gonna make you just show us your fucking Safubi and tell us about him for a bit.
Nah, well, I mean, go ahead, but chime in as much as possible, please.
I will.
Don't leave me hanging. But like, what would you like to know? Like, do you
Man,
have any questions, favorites? I know there's different ranges of like vinyl pullers. There's like you're familiar with Anonymous Rat, like that guy.
yeah.
Shows off some really nice production pieces. There's accessible stuff. There's the harder to get stuff. There's the hype toys. There's the lesser known artists.
Show me something in your box there that you would consider like a hard to get that you're proud of.
I'll show you one that's both accessible and hard to get. This is a little VAG figure. It's a funny ass acronym, just because a lot of people when they say VAG, how would you say it, Crumbs? I know you're drinking something.
I would say VAG as well, because is it a various artist something?
Final artist gotcha, like a gotcha.
Okay. Okay.
But a lot of people just say flat out. But this is a very accessible series, like very cheap. Sometimes you can get as low as $5 if you're lucky, and like $9 in the US. And it's like a whole collaboration of like different artists and stuff. I know this one's Pakuro, but this is like a limited edition set. Not that difficult to get, but it is of a character. No, a colorway that I've been trying to get for months. Like not even months. I want to say like 2 years I've been chasing that colorway. And I remember I was about to pull a trigger on it on Mandarake, I think the website's called, but then someone bought it. So I let that thing hang too long, and then someone bought it for about, I want to say $89, 89, 90. But yeah, it's beautiful, like the large edition. But I'm just like, you know what? I'm just gonna be happy with my little tiny limited edition one.
Do you have to open minis to try and find that one?
Actually, in Japan, you have to go through an actual gotcha machine. So like it is randomly assorted. But in the US, it's randomly assorted, but it's 500 yen, which is roughly about like $3 or $4. But in the US, when they get sellers here selling it, you pay about $8 or $9. Sometimes if you're lucky on the website, you could actually pick the color. So I know Strange Cat Toys has it where you can pick the color if like, they offer like if they have clear capsules and stuff. Um Rotofugi, not so much. I think it's random. Just depends on which store you're getting it from in the US.
Do you find having Rotofugi right there that you end up noticing pieces appear there that are maybe like more obscure online just because they've ended up funneling to Rotofugi and then they've been missed?
Yeah, you know what? There are like, I want to call them late bloomers to popularity. Like I've seen some toys on there that are on their shelves and they have like an initial release and they stay there for like months. And after like enough hype builds up, like the toy's gone. Like the toy and like several like similar ones by the same artist are gone. And you notice that like certain stuff like you can actually see like the popularity play out in real time of like when they put up the blind box cases, like Some of them would like go out a lot quicker in a span of a few days, while other ones like stay a little longer. Yeah, so and then if you're lucky, they get in stuff that they haven't put on the website yet. Like I know there's a frog piece that I picked up for a friend. I don't think they put it up on the website yet, but he's like a really fun looking guy. He has like little overalls and stuff. And I shot a picture of it for a friend. I'm like, hey, this looks like your vibe. Do you know this artist? And they're like, yeah, pick that up for me. I'm like, okay.
See, I'll admit, I didn't even think about the fact that having Rotofugi there, you sometimes see shit before they even have a chance to let anybody know they've got it in stock.
Sometimes with the hype toys and stuff, or like the stuff they know is like high demand. They actually like they they're fair enough that, and I give credit to Rotofugi. They're fair enough that they won't let anyone like pick it up like over the table and stuff. They're like, hey, we'll release it when we post it on our Instagram that we're gonna have it that day, and our online drop is gonna be at this time. So it's gonna be like available in person by the time we post it, and online whatever X time.
Speaking of times, I know a lot of us are like terrified of lottery drops. What the fuck is a lottery drop? Do you mind explaining kind of like what a lottery drop is?
So that's when an artist releases a toy, and this toy is in like such a low quantity. Let's say it's a 5 edition and stuff, or it's like a single painted one. They actually have people file applications in an email so they could actually roll a lottery there. Or if it's like a very, very popular artist that's releasing like 50 of a figure or 100, but they know that those toys are gonna fly by fast, they hold applications for like for at a certain email for a certain deadline, and then they just go through everyone.
And then, of course, like I think the part that often confuses people with the lottery is like you still pay for the toy. It's just that you've won the opportunity
Yeah, yeah.
to buy
You
the
don't
toy.
you don't get it for free. You got to pay for that.
Yeah, yeah. And like, have you ever participated in any of the lottery sales? Do you have positive experiences with it? Like, what's your kind of vibe with them, man?
It's you know sure there are people that make spoof emails or they make their friends enter for them, but down the line it's almost as fair as you could get, even if you lose. Like I know there's one artist that I really wanted, like this little like chibi space odyssey looking guy from, and I've honestly been after it for like a long ass time. I entered the lottery in there. Obviously I don't have it, otherwise I would show it.
Right.
But I'm like, you know what, so what, I don't get to pay 100 or 200 or however much that piece costs.
Fair, man. I
Money
guess
for different toys.
for a lot of folks, I think it's the idea of just like the effort. Maybe that's what it is, the effort, or like sending off their information to like somebody they don't know very well and hopes they'll get a toy. But maybe that separates us weak from the brave.
I wouldn't say weak. I mean, if you're cautious about your data, that's fair. That's honestly like fair observation. Just wait for like your favorite store to get it online.
Well, and like you mentioned it, like Mandrake, right? Mandrakes can sometimes get some really whack shit. You and I were going through there one night, and I was laughing
Yeah.
because like I'm seeing the homies. The other day, you sent me a link for Terrible Whore, and I kept on thinking like that name sounds familiar. And sure enough, I'm on the Toys Alive page yesterday afternoon, and I see in this top stories Terrible Whore. I'm like, yeah, okay, I have seen the fucking a name like that. You don't forget.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it
It's the
sticks,
culture
man.
of it. It's the culture. Sometimes you like I was browsing it yesterday, and I saw some decon releases, like United States decon stuff in Japan already on Mandrake. I'm like, okay, I mean, they're selling what people want.
Well, and I guess like the reality is too is like we saw people travel from all over the globe there. Like I'm
Right,
pretty
yeah.
sure Science Patrol was at Decon this year, like in person.
Yeah.
Um, so they go back home with some grabs they had. Why not,
or
right? Like
or international
anybody,
people. Yeah, anybody.
anybody. I'm not saying it's them.
I know, I
I'm
know.
just but they're a prime example of like an individual who probably went further than we'd expect for designer con and
Right, yeah,
back.
yeah.
Um, so these toys end up all over. It's just whack to see it on Mandrake because I'm sure you get it, man. A year ago, 2 years ago, you'd see like Tim Elephant, right? You'd see like Paul Kaiju. You'd maybe see Grody appear on there the odd time. And I assumed that was because he was like in the region, maybe. But when you start seeing dudes from like the States appear at Mandrake, you're like, hey, this is bouncing. What are we
Yeah, it
talking
is.
about now? Like,
It's funny. Like sometimes you see toys from the Taipei toy like exhibition, and then you see stuff from like Taiwan. You see stuff from like different other places, and it's the same phenomenon. Toys travel.
Toys travel, man. Okay, I don't want to eat up much of your time, and I also want to pull in some of the other homies there. I want you to show me what's in that box, dude. I want you to go through and keep pulling out some cool ass shit from that box.
Well, I mean, what do you got in mind? Like you could say anything. I'd probably grab the closest thing to it. Like if you want to, here. While you think of that, let me look up this artist's name.
Yeah, because otherwise, man, like, give us a rundown from probably like what a beginner person first getting into Safubi would grab up until like, you know, more and more like, I know what I'm doing now. I know what I want. I feel like you'll have a good
Um,
understanding of that.
I'll show you like a really, really difficult piece that took me just chance to get, but I have to figure out his name out of respect. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna botch the pronunciation, but it is Ryu Taniguchi, and he designed one of the mascots for the Olympics, the Tokyo Olympics, I think. And he made this character called I want to say it's Hane Nyanya. It's like Hanawa, but with like Nya, like the way a cat meows. And this little character is so fun, and he's like two of my favorite things. He's three things, but he's two of my favorites, which is terracotta soldiers and Hanawa. Hanawa are like these little artifacts, these like creepy little artifacts that they would bury with people, and there were like these little stumps with eyes and like little tiny hands, like real bizarre looking stuff. But this dude's like an absolute little joy just because of the little rub detail, the haunting little eyes, and just the overall like look to him. There's just a lot of insane detail going on.
That's Safubi.
Yes, it is. It looks like it's a two-parter. So this body would be in one mold, and then this body, like this head, would be in a different mold.
It
So they have to like,
truly, they nailed the terracotta look, man.
yeah, it's a really fun guy.
Was that one of those ones that you ended up getting in a block of like sand as well?
No, no, I forgot to bring one of those. Those guys were fun. Um, what Crumbs is talking about is like this little figure that I found on Strange Cat Toy called Blue and Friends, and they're like these little resin guys. They're like a really weighty plastic, and you know those sand blocks where you have to dig out a mineral. It's like that same idea where you have to dig out gold or like a little diamond or like a little piece of like
It
craft
reminds me of
crystal.
like we have like little glow in the dark dinosaur ones. James B, what up, man? But we have like little like glow in the dark dinosaur guys you have to dig out with a little
Yeah,
chisel
yeah.
set.
That's basically it. It's like it's called Blue and Friends. You have to dig that toy out. You have to actually work for that toy. And I remember I got a case of those and shipping sucked ass because of how heavy it was. It was really heavy, and it took like it took like 2 hours to get six figures out of there. Yeah, it was a lot of work.
There's two things I love about that. One, I love the fact that like you didn't think that you were basically paying to ship a pile of bricks, like a small box of bricks.
Mhm.
Two, the fact that you actually had to spend 6 hours, probably as long as the average person would like spend casting up one of those figures, you spent taking it right back out, dude.
Yeah, yeah. I remember I made a bunch of jokes about having like bricks of sand to like the owner of the shop. I'm like, dude, it's looking like you're shipping coke to me. Because they come in, like you open the box and then you get the brick out, and the brick is like sealed with like shrink wrap, shrink wrap plastic. Like, okay, that's enough.
Oddly enough, I don't know why, almost every single time a toy with cannabis comes through, that box has definitely been opened. And it's always
Really?
comical to me because it's like, dudes, nobody is smoking resin coated fucking weed nugs, dogs. Like,
Did
I'm not digging it out of there, homies. I promise. It is in the resin. Like, we're not sneaking shit. Nobody's smoking that. I hope to God.
taking the resins a little too seriously. Um,
Going a little far at that point. Yeah. So if
did
I was a
did they open the package I sent you?
No, they didn't. I don't think, man. No, they didn't. I don't think.
That's hilarious.
Which is really funny to me because realistically, the dog hair really caught me off guard.
I
Yeah.
thought the candy would have like gotten its leg. Do you see that little that yellow one, that yellow candy in there?
I was weird, and I went quick with the shit because you're sitting here in front of me. I didn't see a yellow thing. I saw a large sucker and a scary ball that says Rockalata Bola.
Is there any different candies in there? I think I
And
stuck at like.
there's a pink thing as well.
Do
So
you want me?
this, yeah, oh yo, yeah, you definitely have to tell me what the fuck these are. What the heck is this?
Do you want to do me a favor and open that one up and eat that right now? I'm sure everyone will love it.
Yeah. It has no smell. If anything, it smells kind of like Play-Doh.
It's not poison. Don't worry.
It's like oddly goopy.
Don't bite in. Oh, did he already bite into it? All right, I guess just let it sit. So I'm not sure if it constitutes as sofubi, but one of the introductions I had was dropping by Rotofugi on a whim because my old art teacher was like, "Hey, you should visit that shop," because um I was taking photos around that area, and this was after they moved from their first location. They had these figures out, and I thought these were pretty sick out of the box. So I gambled and got a secret figure, and I'm like, you know what? These are pretty cool. I might revisit the idea. And then after that, it just snowballs from there. So
What would be
when
a beginner Safubi? And am I correct in thinking that this is gonna have a shit ton of chili powder in the fucking center of it?
you're wrong about the chili powder,
Okay.
and I think accessible would be the VAG figures. So like the little $9 capsules, because you know what you're getting. If it looks cool to you, you just pick it up. It's really cheap. They're small, but they have like a lot of like detail to it. And did you get to the center of that candy because your face looks like it's starting to change a little bit? You're on mute.
I gotta know. I gotta know what is inside of this, to be honest, dude.
All right, you're getting there. You're getting there. But like, this is VAG. They're really fun guys. Like I said, a lot of detail, which is like awesome for the price. Even if you're paying for like the American price, which is like $8, it's plenty of deep. And I know this character right here is like infamous from being
Hey,
from
what the
like the.
fuck is that? What is going on there?
It's called
Sorry.
Ao Oni, okay? It's an old game. I'm sure like maybe one person in the chat knows this character. Does anyone know this character? It's from like an old RPG Maker game where like this guy would like run around and like follow you in the house and try to kill you.
No, the face looks familiar, but I not a clue. Yo, general purpose, what's going on? Suki, thanks for popping in, man. Nim, what's going on? And Zimit, sorry, Zymon Co. and James B. Catching all them. Yo, yeah, I could not finish whatever the heck that is until I know what's in the center of it. I was too scared.
Well, you didn't finish it?
Oh no, heck no, dude.
Just bite into it. Just bite into it. All right.
I'm scared of it being some kind of weird like beetle or bug or something. What's in
That's
there?
I would. I wouldn't feed you bugs. I wouldn't feed you bugs. Just do it. Just do it.
I literally was like, there's probably a bug in the center of this.
It would be in Japanese. Get shipped to the US. Somehow have a bug in it. Get reshipped to Canada. That doesn't make any sense, bro. If you're scared, just chew into it.
But it is bizarre. It's a weird arrangement of flavors.
I think it's supposed to be plum flavor.
It's intense, man.
Yeah.
See, the reason when you made me want to like have to eat it on here, I thought for sure like there's gonna be something fucked about this.
No, I wouldn't do that. No.
Nah, you're too nice.
This isn't Black Mirror or whatever that show's called.
There we go, right?
Nah. Do you want the truth?
Great stuff. Yeah, what's up? Tell me.
It's just sour candy.
Oh, okay.
Honestly, though, like in my standards, I eat a lot of sour and spicy candy. That one actually got there. Like they
Oh,
got really
fair.
high on my chart. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's why I sent it over because I'm like, damn, this thing's fucking sour. I'm like, okay. Like I'm gonna send it to Crumbs.
Fuck, man. Yo, Street Fight SPDX, I would agree with you, but I've just been vegetarian for so long that my brain literally was like, if there is any kind of weird species in this, I'm a shit myself. I haven't consumed a thing, you know?
No, I don't like. Even though I think it's a novel idea and stuff, I don't condone eating endangered animals.
All
Even
right,
if
dude.
it's endangered, no.
I'm gonna boot you in a little bit here, so I want to see. Show me your coolest shit that you're the most proud of in that box, dude.
Okay, let's do a speed run of it then. If you're gonna boot me, comet debris, really really awesome guy, little shark wearing pants, and I think his little fins had been like race sewn on. I think that's his little commentary about like the whole shark fin market. But this guy is filled with like those old school plastic sea critters, and I love this. I got lucky on eBay because again, this guy deserves all the love. So I'm pretty sure not a lot of people knew about this fella being on eBay for just $50, which is like $10 more than his asking. So this guy deserves like all the love. Like
I love the
he's a
little
really
sea creatures.
yeah. There's like little sea creatures in there, like squids, like starfish. There's like a turtle right there, that little purple guy. And it's just like a little shark man in pants.
I can get down on that, man. Do you have one of that guy? Is that the one of that you have of that guy?
Yes, because the original color is like really sought after now. Because like, well, not I wouldn't say super sought after, but like, I think he picked up a little popularity over the years, which is nice. Artists I'm passionate about that I love their effort with their toy, and there's like a little meaning behind that toy that I won't elaborate on unless like you know who it is and stuff. Moai, you're familiar with that little concept of the Easter Island heads. I love them. They're goofy little concepts. I won't elaborate because I'll talk your damn ear off about them. But this guy is named Blue. He's got a little chunk of land with him, so he could look off into the distance while he's just sitting. And not a lot of people know this about Moai, but they actually have little bodies underneath. So he's got a little dingling hanging and a little butt. Really humble artist. Very, very pleasant to speak to. Actually, like good friends with him, but that doesn't mean I pay friend price. I make sure I pay these guys like respectfully. Let's see. Artist that's currently in Japan right now. Squid Blaster, or some people call him Squad Blaster. And he made this character right here. I'm not sure if the camera picks it up, but there's a soft gradient color that goes up and down from this guy. And he's supposed to be like one of those little offering shrines. So he has like all the detail of that. And it's really, really, really like detailed figure. Like you could look at all of the angles of this guy and just see minute detail. But yeah, this artist deserves a lot of love because his work is just like amazing.
He has fantastic sculpt work, and admittedly, I think what's a shame is their IG handle name is almost difficult for a lot of folks to remember because it's like SQDBLSTR.
Yeah.
There
I
we
just put it out in the chat.
go. Nice. Yeah, because unfortunately, I do feel that they get a little bit overlooked, but I think it's because of their handle a lot of times.
There's this guy's become popular because of Pop Shop and because he's been throwing his toys more out there. And I missed out on one on mine, Drake. I'm mad. It's Hudson Torin, and he was very, very, very humble and like really polite when I asked him for this figure. He's like, hey, this figure is gonna take about a few months to paint. If I work by invoices and stuff. So if I get enough, I can start up the work. And this stuff is hand painted by him. The price was like really affordable. I thought I was gonna have to pay like 100 for this guy, but it was around like the 40 or 50. And like the eyes are just like really, really fun. I think the character's name is Fun, which is just funny. Um, let's see. There's this artist right here. I love clear stuff. Uh, a lot of people noticed that the shark guy, and this is Gabu Gabu. A good friend traded me this figure, and so I ended up filling him up with like these little glow in the dark beads. But this character it has like a lot of personality to it, with like the big hands and the cartoony look, and the toothy grin. I'm not sure if it picks up on camera, but this is Gabu Gabu by Kamakiri. And that artist is like really fun on Twitter and on IG. Like he has a big personality. Uh, what else? I mean, there's a whole freaking fable. Like
You
this
brought a
is
little bit of it all.
yeah, dude. There's like a bunch on this laptop right now as we're speaking. I mean, if we're feeling Thanksgiving, we have this fella called El Pato by Science Patrol. He's wearing a little apron, and he's based off of a restaurant in Japan that the artist loves.
I didn't expect you to have so much vinyl on you there, man.
You told me to bring stuff, and I'm like, okay, I make sure I have enough to talk of. So
I feel
yeah,
that, man.
like if you want something cool, I know one piece that I was really excited about that I actually got my hands on as a birthday gift from a beloved person was this Wild Hunt right here. And what makes him so special is that he's UV reactive. So it goes from like white to a blue. So if I took this guy out to the sun, his whole like little complexion would change. Very, very like dynamic work and stuff. I know a lot of resin people are messing with UV pigments now, which is a hell of a lot of fun. But yeah, that guy goes in a black box just so that UV pigment doesn't burn.
That makes a lot of sense, man. And actually, you just brought it up too. We're all liking the UV and the glow, and I can't speak for anybody else in the scene, but like I know you have a huge glow in the dark collection at home that you actually basically collect like radiation stuff. What is it about the glow in the dark slash UV that appeals to you, man? Like, why do you get driven towards that?
The glow in the dark stuff is like a real fun concept. I know like a lot of people love it just for like there's something like a lot of people grow up with those little plastic stars they put up under ceiling and a lot of like tiny toys that like were cheap as heck, but they love them anyways, that glow in the dark. And it was like always the selling point of cheap toys. So when you get that kind of like plastic in a character that you love, it shows some details that you wouldn't really expect to see, especially in the dark. It's one of those I guess one of those things that draw you back to a childhood or just shows off features that you wouldn't think of like of a toy to have. So like, you get to see your favorite character illuminated in the darkness once you shut those lights off and get ready to bed, or just go around your house.
I think
And
the getting ready for bed, I think, is a big one for me, man. I think of the fact that it's like that like a reason to turn off the lights other than just
yeah,
like
yeah,
going to bed.
yeah, you just shut them off and you're just like, hey, that's my favorite right up there.
Dude, well, and you've got a full like UV blurple light setup instead of just like a single flashlight, right? Do you find
I
that
Oh, I'm sorry.
no, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
They're just purple lights that I have in the case. They're not like UV and stuff.
It doesn't charge them then?
Normal lights actually do charge them, but it doesn't supercharge them like UV lights do.
Fair enough, fair enough, fair enough. All right. Lay two more toys on us, and then I'm gonna kick you out of here.
Oh man, okay. You know what? Let me see.
I've got Uncle Spank's gonna try and navigate through in. I've tossed you the link again there, man. Let me know if you have any issues. And then Play Dearth is gonna pop in a little bit as well. And I also believe B to the J should be popping in to join us tonight as well.
Nice. Okay.
So we're gonna have to bring you in to bring more Safubi for another night too.
Does a pair count as one toy?
Sure.
Because it's one of your favorites. Okay. If we're gonna talk accessible, I know there's been an uprise of certain like artists in the US scene that have been pumping out toys. Now they don't call it Sofubi, they call it Mexifubi. And I've argued with this artist before because I'm like, you're not in fucking Mexico pulling these yourself. You're pulling them in the United States, but you call them Mexifubi. That doesn't make sense just because you're a goddamn Mexican. um, these toys by Saruga Mark, very, very awesome guy. Like his work, his handiwork, and his sculpts have a lot of character to them. These guys are modeled after a cocoa pod and a concha, which is like a type of what's the word? Confectionery. So like he's got like little dimples and like little frosting on the back that looks amazing. And he has like a whole lot of character in the front. And then this cocoa pod too is just absolutely brilliant. Like I love these guys.
I love that colorway, and I know it sounds ridiculous. Like you guys know, I love Saruga Mark. I really, really like Saruga Mark's work. That's an artist that isn't even at like their prime yet, and I already know that like I want to try and find people who have those earlier ones
Yeah,
to
yeah.
snag them, man. Like there are so many colorways of those that I can't believe I've missed and slept on. Like
Same. And I know the dude. Like I feel the same way. And it's like I talk with him and stuff, and then this stuff just flies over my head. I'm just like, fuck, I don't know. Next time.
he's so humble and so sneaky and so quiet about it, man.
Yeah, he plays it off as a professional. He doesn't like, try to like what's it called? He doesn't try to bank on his ego and stuff. He just does as he does. And it's awesome. This guy's a workaholic.
To say the least. To say the least. All right. What else you
And
got on there?
um you want accessible or something that I'm like,
I want like the grail that you currently have in there. What's like a grail in there for you?
I wouldn't say grail, but I would say a piece that means a lot to me just because I love it. It's funny. I always judge myself because it's a collaboration piece between I want to say T9G and I forgot, how do I forget the artist's name? I guess I was put on the spot. But it's called Satoshi Rangeas, and it's a collaboration between two artists. It's a secret character from Kaiju Hunting, but I love this guy's like shit-eating grin. Like it's just absolutely funny. I remember when I got like the glow in the dark one, I'm like, yeah, this is my guy. This dude is a lot of fun because he's packing so much like just nasty details to him. He's got like nasty cracks on his business suit. He looks like a total like monster, but he's like just flexing like a little tie and everything. So he has like a lot of like nice texture to him too. Really fun dude.
Okay. So, and maybe you can even explain this to me. Why is it some Safubi toys don't look like Safubi? Like that looks like I don't want to say plastic, but like there's certain Safubi that like that squeaked at one point. It sounded
Yeah,
so
yeah,
tight, you know? That
yeah.
looks almost like
It's weird. These guys are totally bizarre. Like I'll cheat and bring in a different figure, Max Toy. A lot of people are familiar with this guy, and they say they love the texture of his vinyl. Like it has like a really crisp like denseness to it that's like way different than other soft vinyl. So these different vinyl has like different features to it. Like I know this guy's a little bit more flexible. Might just be the clear plastic, but it doesn't feel like Max Toy, and it definitely doesn't feel like this guy right here. So it's something weird with the formula.
I, I wonder that with resin too, man. There's things some of these dudes do that for some reason they get completely different results that
Yeah,
I don't know. Would you ever say, because Saruga Mark was trying to explain it to me, do you grab often like true Japanese pulled Safubi, or would you say like you grab just like general soft vinyl?
I'd say general soft vinyl. Like I would like I know I feel bad for not grabbing like as much bootleg toys and like other characters that you grab and stuff, just because like it's different interests and such. I adore these designs and such. The same way with you just reminded me I had some bootleg toys that I do have, but I forgot to bring them. I was gonna be like, Crumbs, made me think of these guys right here. But yeah, we'd have more to talk about if I had more like of that genre of designer toy. But for some reason, like these little like original designs like really grabbed me.
But if anything, that's kind of why I like you being here, is that you have a different taste and a different type of collection that allows you to have a totally different viewpoint and perspective on this toy world, man.
Yeah, it's bizarre. Like sometimes you find something you like and you get like a whole personality behind it. And then at other times you find something you like and then you find out, oh hey, you emailed that company about that toy and all they could tell you is just the fucking name of the figure. It's like this dude right here. They're like, oh yeah, that's Saburo. I'm like, yeah, could you tell me about the artist? We made it. All right. Why'd you make it? Because that's Saburo. He just exists. I don't know.
And that guy has a helmet. Like, does that guy not have like a helmet or something as well?
Yes, he has a bizarre helmet, a bizarre looking helmet. Like, and the glow on this guy is absolutely stupid, like glowy. Like he's my friends hate this figure. I have a lot of friends that hate it. They just say it's fucking ugly. But I love the hell out of this thing just because of the sheer look of it. But like I said, you like a figure just because of the look, the same way you would like a figure because it looks like someone's take of Skeletor or someone's take of Swamp Thing. And I know damn well you love your Swamp Things. So you love to see like different interpretations.
It's nuts to me that the glow is showing up even though you're in like a very like white lit room, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It is kind of harsh in here.
But you still got like a really good fucking green glow off of that. But that would infuriate me, be like even contacting the company, being like, who made this? And then being like, us. It'd be literally like it'd be like asking Lulu about like going to the Lulu Bell website, seeing a Grody Shogun or an anonymous rat and asking them like, oh, who made that? And them just being like, well, we did. And you're like, okay, but that's a Peach wearing pants. Why? And they're like, because it's Peach Man.
Yeah, yeah.
You're like,
It's like, hey, Science Patrol, why is it called Wild Hunt? And it's like, oh yeah, it's folklore of these ghosts that would go out hunting and stuff, and people would close doors because they don't want to get fucking mobbed by a bunch of angry ass ghosts on the hunt. That's why it's called a wild hunt. Or like this artist here who has like a backstory to this character of why he made it at that time, and it's like, oh man, I feel you. That's an awesome design. And then you got, like I said, Subaru, Crystal Skull. Okay.
just are. They just exist, man.
Yeah, they're just there, man. They're like, hey, crystal skulls look fucking cool. Don't you like a crystal skull? It's real
If
cheap.
anything, I love the like little detail right on the side of the head, man. What the heck is going on
Yeah,
there?
the whole little crystal, man. I guess they took the crystal skull term seriously and added their own like little. You could ask them, why is there a little hunk of crystals on like a crystal skull? I thought these things were supposed to be like, just a whole skull. And they'll just be like, huh,
Fuck, man.
one up toy if you want to check them out.
Yeah, if anything, I'm gonna have to bombard you for a bunch of links later, man. I feel like there's a lot of artists named this evening that like there would have been no chance in hell could I have just typed those in and pulled them up in a flash.
Yeah, like I had like a little template of what to talk about on here, and like there's like some artists I was like totally blanking on, and I was even confuzzling myself. Like I know for sure I knew Gabu Gabu's name, but I totally like blanked on the artist who made him.
I love seeing what so one of the other dudes that I Need Toys, he actually puts glow in the dark beads in one of his hollows as well. It's dope seeing that you do that as well, man. Like I've even been
Yeah,
debating
yeah.
it. It's a genius idea. Like it's just a big empty cavity. Why wouldn't you load it up with glow in the dark fucking beads?
You go in the vinyl community and you ask to see like favorite toys, and you get different stuff. Like people put pom poms. I've seen people put like tiny paper, individually paper folded stars. I'm not sure if you're familiar with those, but they'd get like a string of like paper and make a little star out of it and just fill a fucking figure with that. And it's brilliant. Then you have me who gets like frustrated when the plastic glow in the dark stars they bought don't glow that very well.
Glow in the dark stars would be fun though. Is that what you
Yeah,
just
but
mentioned?
yeah, I have a wild hunt with like a knight's head, and I nickname him a stupid ass name. I call him Good Night because little stars go to sleep. Good night. No, fuck you too. But, but he had like the little plastic the plastic stars that glow, and I'm like, they look great in there, but I just wish they glue glowed a little better.
I can't help but be thinking right now, as a kid, you'd get like those like sand in a jar and it would be piled. Now just imagine if for some reason you were that guy, just glow powder. Just full on pouring glow powder in a full fucking vinyl. Just
Not just that, but like the people who are insane and actually make the little designs or like the little like sunsets and the trees and stuff. They do that with powder. Like,
you
God
imagine
bless them.
just some dude like sitting there with this vinyl toy and like tweezering in little glow powder, like making the little
Yeah. Well, some people take their hobby seriously. Yeah. You say that, and maybe down the road, someone takes that idea from this video and does it. Like,
okay.
all the
The
love to
issue
them.
is like the cost in glow powder would actually be pretty stupid to fill a regular Safubi figure. You'd have to go pretty small vinyl figure, I'd hope. Yeah. And then the other thing though is that like um I really wouldn't go too like insane on it because of course it's gonna get shaken up, man.
Take
See
care,
you later,
Porpoise.
Porpoise. Good seeing you, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be a lot of work.
Speaking of a lot of work, man, if you don't mind, because I know you're so humble, you don't talk about it too much, but you're actually quite the painter yourself. You actually go under disc one as well, and you do some custom painting. And there's certain things that you actually do in the painting world that I actually find really impressive. I don't want to give away any of like your secret sauces, but is there anything in there that you would care to share with some of us that you consider like absolutes that you wish people were doing more of, or that you think work really well for you?
Um, that's I
Textures.
know. Huh? Oh, textures. I mean, I heard you, but it's like it's one of those things you could ask for an artist, and it's one of those things that like really comes with like, the opportunity of having the right materials. Like I know for one of my textures, I had to get shit from fucking Germany. I had to go to a website that looked like old like German like World War I propaganda. I'm just like ordered. all three of those types of paints ordered. Um, Textures is fun. If people mess around with like a lot more like rust looking stuff, or like I said, that's what got me into the hobby was trying to look for a dummy to test all these weathering effects on toys. That'd be a lot more fun. If you get like I want to plug an artist, but I'm forgetting their name. I'm gonna remember later and be pissed. But they do a lot of rust work, and their rust is super pretty. Like it's grit spelled in that stupid font that they had for that one PS3 game called Dirt. That's how gritty it is. That's how fucking gritty it is. You look at their work, it's like fuzzy rust, rough colors, like rough paint and stuff, dripping oxidization. Those textures are like real fun to play with. But then the other textures I like to play with is like miniature scenes, like snowy weather, like sandy deserts and stuff. I love that stuff. I mean, if you want to pull up like any pictures for me to like just, you know, talk about like, well, just as an example, just show off like, because I like snow scenery a lot. I Walking in the snow, especially for you, dude, sucks. But there's something like that's different about like going out at night when you're walking the dog because you have to, and just seeing like a peaceful snowy night where all you could see mostly like just the white powdery like slush that is snow. Yeah, that dude right there. Like I know I'm not the best hand painter, and I wanted to make like a little porcelain like appearance on the side, but I felt like I really came through when it came to like the grass textures, the clumps of snow, because I had to buy three different types of powder to like get that right consistency, and then the little frozen lake right there that's like dead in the center. There was a lot of experimentation, and honestly, I felt like I was gonna. I At one point I felt like I was um just throwing stuff in the wind, and eventually I was just gonna dump the figure because it was just a little experiment. But it turned out nicely, and I'm just like, you know what, I'll keep it.
And you were just talking about like the rusting and like the coppering effects and the weathering effects. Like you
Yeah,
kill it, man.
thank you. That's one of the ones I actually love. But there was someone online that was just like, hey, please tell me that. I'm just like, okay, it's yours, fine. You love my work, and that means a lot to me. So
See, I think that's something that we often kind of forget, even in like the toy community in general. Just like we forget that it's kind of mind blowing when somebody just reaches out across the internet, right? We
right.
think you guys have been doing this for a long time. Like we assume you guys have been like making toys and shit. Like you're just like one of the other people out here, but that must be like bizarre at times.
Yeah, it's nice to find people that like your work, and there's something that's like real. I'm drawing blanks here, but like it's nice. Compliments are nice, and you're just making stuff because it looks cool. Like I had fun with that fella. I like I felt bad because I was digging into one of my favorite characters, but I'm like, there has to be fucking rust gaps. Rust makes gaps in metal. This has to happen. And then the little weathering and texture around the bone and stuff. I had to watch. I like it needed a good reference, so I spent hours watching taxidermy videos. So I'm like, I want that dried blood. I want that sandy bone look because bone don't come out white.
So, do you mind if I ask, like, for something like that rust, like, how do you get that nice texturing, man? You don't have to answer that if you don't want.
Glue, metal particles, and acid. Vinegar can work. So if you're using actual like metal particles and mix it in with a nice glue, and you put vinegar on the top of it, it actually starts a rusting process.
That's insane, dog.
Thank you. So like all that brown in there isn't just like humps of paint. That's real rust, baby. The only thing I'm disappointed in is that I could have textured up that tree a lot better, but it was my first attempt at a tree.
What did you use for the tree, if you don't mind my asking?
It was wires. I want to say epoxy hoodie, but I'm trying to remember the brand. I think it was Tamiya and pink. So it was just a clump of wires that was all like banded up together, and then I fleshed it over with like epoxy, let that dry, paint it up, add the tree detail, and just
Jeez.
go on from there. It doesn't look the greatest, but it could always improve.
Dude, I didn't realize that you were doing them. Is that what you would have done with something like this here as well?
Yeah, that was my favorite was like the very base. I'm not sure if like you can see it, but there's like that that brown right there. Yeah, right at the top of the head, it's crackle paint, and I want to make sure I get like that dry dirt look, so you could actually see the paint start to crack up, like the real stuff would. And I know I had to go through a different I had to speak to different like miniatures people about getting that nice texture of like dry dirt. And yeah, that was metal wires that came out of the head that I had to secure with putty. Use a different putty to get the leaves right, and then just build from that, like just build on weathering.
Are you going to share with us how you got the cracking, or is that a secret sauce?
That's not secret sauce. You could find like crackle what's it called? Crackle paint anywhere. You just look it up
Oh
and
shit.
there you go.
I can even see some right near his bum here. What'd you
Yeah,
get for
yeah.
this shit, dude? What's this stuff? What's this little like pebbly stuff?
That's like rich dirt. That's like wet dirt. Like if you're dealing with plants and stuff, you get from one layer of dirt to the other, and you get like that blacker looking like dirt, like in the photo too. You can see some of it cure out, and it's like I just wanted to make sure I get like as much classifications of
Yeah, it's
and
like
textures of
pill.
dirt as possible.
It's like pilled dirt.
Yeah, yeah.
How'd you acquire that pilling?
Sand. You just mix sand in with the dirt, or you just paint over like glued sand.
Jeez, man.
Sometimes you could buy a colored sand and save you the time. There's one piece I was working on, and I knew I could have saved a lot of time if I bought black crackle paint, but I didn't. I bought red, and now I have to paint every individual slab of crack black. So yeah, I am painting walls with a toothbrush.
Man, yeah, we sometimes do things that we're not really thinking at the time. Well, Mecha Ducky, dude, I'm not gonna lie, man. I've got B to the J hopping in. I'm gonna kick you out, dude. It's been such a pleasure, and thank
Yeah, it's
you.
always a pleasure speaking with you, dude.
Whew, my goodness, man. Dude, we're gonna pull you in again because I know you have a lot more to tell us about vinyl, and you have an insane collection, dude.
Thank
And
you. You
thank
have a
you
very
for
awesome one too.
fucking thank you for the additions, dude. That is thank you very, 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 very much, man. I'm gonna
Anytime,
message
man.
you. I'll send you nudies later, as requested and promised.
Take care, man.
Ooh, whew, missing the homie. And I've got a telephone number that I'm assuming is going to be Uncle Spanky. Uncle Spanky's going to come spank it with us. B to the J is going to hop in. Man, I can't wait to catch up with you, but I'm going to make you have to entertain the homies for a quick second because I'm holding in a whistle.
Okay.
I was doing a little pee-pee dance over here. Well, Mecha Ducky was telling us about paint apps. So I'm going to give you the floor, good sir. Enjoy.
Okay. What's happening? Everybody, who's in the room? Man, everybody's in the room. Looks like DNS is gone already. That's cool. That's cool. Brett, what's going on? That was Mecha Ducky who was just in here. I don't know if you guys covered news and whatnot already. If man, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I got like 15 drops we're talking about. Everybody's doing the Black Friday drops tomorrow at our decon drops. One thing that I noticed about decon this year is that really well with the Black Friday drops since it was just last weekend. Next year, however, decon is later in the year, November 15th through 17th. So I'm just wondering how much that's going to be of a problem for some people. which is really kind of shitty, man. If you think about it, I mean, you're talking like, a week to 10 days before Christmas for decon. So there he is.
Talking about next year's decon.
Yeah, just kind of talking about I said that I have a ton. I don't know if you went over news and stuff already. But there's so many drops and stuff coming up for this weekend, Black Friday happening tomorrow. And I said it kind of lines up really well with decon this year, but next it's not going to be the case.
Yeah, if anything, man, we didn't get a chance to cover the news. Mecha Ducky hopped right in off the hop with us there tonight, and nice. He had so many more vinyls than I was even expecting. He asked me if there was a couple. I listed off like maybe 3 to bring with him. That dude had a fucking box of vinyls with him tonight, dude. So
nice, very cool.
As Uncle Spank is still going to hop in with us and show us around his collection real fast. I want to hear all about your decon fucking experience, and Plagued Earth is going to come in as well.
Yes. Wow, it's a show left.
I thought we were gonna have a really short squeeze of a show tonight, but it seems as though Mecca and I just gabbed, and everybody was too polite to tell us to shut the fuck up.
Nice. First things first, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing tonight, dude? Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Same to you. I know you don't celebrate it. And honestly, we just kind of get together to eat and watch football and hang out with family. It's kind of more of what Thanksgiving is about here in the States, at least to me. And that's it. We did all of that. So good. Plenty of leftovers. My girlfriend's already saying she wants to go Black Friday shopping at like 4 o'clock in the morning. And, we'll see about that.
Oh, shit. Okay. You and I were chatting a little bit earlier and you mentioned Black Friday, and I'll admit, here we saw Black Friday come over here like in my retail working lifetime. It hasn't been a forever thing here. It really isn't like terrifying here.
Yeah.
It totally like skipped my brain until this very moment that Black Friday over there is chaos. When you mentioned 4 in the morning, that's when I was like, that Black Friday.
Yeah. Looks like Nim stepping out. Right on, Nim. Thanks for coming in, my man. Very nice meeting you at decon. We'll get to that later. So where I live, the big feature of this town for this area, what they call factory stores. And I don't know if you have factory stores up there, but it's basically these groups of stores. And it's like factory seconds, right? Like you would never be able to tell what's wrong with any of the clothes or any of the other stuff unless you were to ask about it. Maybe it's stuff that's just, they're not making it anymore, that's on a short run, they're trying to close it all out, whatever. But it's like literally when I was in this town, there was 10 of these stores. Now in this area, there's over 200 of these stores all connected together. And on Black Friday, there's people that come from all over the area to hit these like incredible sales they have, and it just makes the city an absolute shit show. Exits off the freeway are just totally fucked, and lucky me, sounds like I'm going to be diving right into it. So yeah, that face you were making right there, yeah, that was my face right there. Well said, my friend.
I couldn't help but notice, and I'm loving the hat, by the way, dude. Not just the Toronto rep, but it makes your eyes look fucking fantastic, dude. Blue looks great on you, homie. My goodness.
Dude, you know what? It's a nice hat. It's a nice hat. It's a nice hat. That's what I told you before. It's a nice hat. I like it.
It's crisp. It's fresh, man. You want to
fits well.
You mind if I drag Uncle Spanks in here?
Let's do it.
I don't even technically know if it's Uncle Spanks. It might be, this might even actually be Plagued Earth. It's a phone number. So we're rolling the roulette here. It's going to be somebody fun regardless.
Okay. All right.
It'll be fun regardless. I mean, hey, it's always a blast.
Yeah. Why not?
Yo. Spank, is this you? We can't see you, and we can kind of hear you, homie.
Dr. Ease, thank you. I'm gonna Dr. Ease, man. That was I think we came up with that a few weeks ago. Dr. Ease.
I think it's Dre Z's.
AKA Dr. Ease.
Dr. Ease. I heard Tinny Bean calling that as well, and I was just kind of like, you know what, at this point, yeah, it's Dr. Ease. Sorry, man. You gotta ease into it, Dr. Ease.
Yeah.
All right. Uncle Spank, man, you hanging in with us?
Me.
All right, I'm gonna boot you for a second, dude, and then we're gonna try. We're gonna boot you for a quick second, but try popping back in again with the video there in a moment.
Dre-Z's.
All right, I booted Spanky there for a quick second, but we'll pull him back on in. Dude, you were at Decon. That must have been insane. I don't want to like bore you too much, but that must have been insane, dude.
Yeah, man. Definitely insane. I keep on using the word surreal, but it really is, dude. You know, like talking to everybody and seeing everybody online all throughout the year and then seeing them in person is just a completely different experience. Folklore and hat reviews. It's a nice hat. I like it. Yeah, that'd be great. That's a very easy review. But yeah, dude, it was great, man. It was a lot of people. You start looking at that map and you see people that are on there and you start kind of planning it out. What's really funny is Dario, what's happening, man? What I think is funny is everybody has all these plans when you go in there. Hey, let's get together on blah 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 at night. Let's go hang out. Let's do this. And dude, you get in there and you realize that all those plans that you have go out the window the minute you walk into the place. And I can imagine how it would be for a vendor who has to stay there tied to your table until the end of the show. You know what I mean? Like you can't just walk out. You can't just, when the show is over, you can't just walk out and say, okay, I'll see you tomorrow. Like you got to do something with your stuff. So a lot of the talk of, going to hang out and this and that, I did hang out with quite a few people, but a lot of those plans just kind of get thrown out the window, man. Your plans of visiting certain booths and meeting certain people, it's just kind of like a free for all, man. I mean, unless you can really keep it under control, keep a controlled pace throughout the whole thing. But, a spastic shopper like myself, there's no way that you're just going to take a nice casual stroll through that place. Which you could like on Saturday and Sunday after you do that. Sunday was a really, really slow day as far as traffic and the amount of people that were in there. So, but yeah.
You kind of nailed it with it being a slow day. I think it takes a special breed of person to go into an event like that, especially Friday night, and just be like, yeah, I'm fucking so-and-so. I'm going and getting my fucking Cranston limited edition. I'm going and getting my, just like all these random Decon exclusive fucking hype, like big deals. Like,
yeah.
There's those people out there, man, that I could not have done it. I think we were talking about that. I would have been hiding in my Decon 2023 is going to be, you're going to have one of those like baby things that babies usually sit in, and I'll be in that, and you'll be walking around, and that way I won't be able to run away from anybody.
Yeah, it's definitely an overload like that, man. It's hard in that environment for extended periods of time.
Yeah.
Into it, it's cool to go and see the stuff and then just kind of take a break and walk out for a while when you're free to. But it's man, it's an experience for sure. It's so God, dude, the line situation over there was just and I don't even care if Decon hears that. I'll probably tag him and say that again, but unorganized events as far as just getting into the building. Like what a joke, dude. It was comically bad. But there was people, the show opened at 9 o'clock. No, sorry, 9 a.m. on Saturday for people. And then it opened on Friday night. The VIP opened at 5.
Yeah.
Get there, you know, about 4 to get in line. And there's already people in line, of course, probably a good amount of people. The lady said that there's people that had been in line since 5 o'clock in the morning, that morning, to get into that place. And I don't know what they were going for. There was a lot of, like you said, super, super limited stuff where people were just running to it and getting in line. I wasn't into any of that, man. I mean, you know, all the stuff that I went to, I think I got pretty much everything that I was looking for.
It's not my cup of tea, but I completely understand that there are people there that their weekend probably looked like showing up there at the 5 a.m., like you said, getting to very specific tables, getting very specific pieces, potentially even signed headers, literally before even leaving the booth, snapping pictures with their brand new fucking fantastic phones with crazy awesome photography, had it listed up online for sale for twice the price minimum.
100%.
And by Saturday, Sunday, every toy they bought had been paid for by whatever the fuck they sold online Friday night. Like,
that's a good, yeah, that's a good, man. I didn't
wild.
See any of that. Yeah, I didn't see any of that, but I wasn't looking either. I bet if I would have looked, you're damn right that people were out there doing that. And that's crazy, dude. So check this out, dude. I know that you and I were talking about Muffin Man sculpts, right? And it was those little birds that you said that looked like a whistle. Those old school bird whistles. You remember those? So check this out, dude. On Saturday morning, there weren't those till Saturday. Now, this one booth, it wasn't his booth. It was a booth that was selling his stuff. I believe they had 10 of them. I got there at 9 o'clock in the morning. The show officially opened at 10. VIPs get in just an hour early, which in this case did not help me at all because these folks at this booth said, "Hey, we're not selling these until 10 o'clock." I said, "No problem." There was nobody even close to that booth. So I go over and I do a couple other things. I come back and it was probably 20 minutes later. That line is now probably 60 people deep. There's your chance on that thing, dude. So my bad for getting out of line and not doing that, but it's crazy. And you're right, dude. And you know what's funny is Strafe 7 actually pointed this out to me too, man.
Zyman, if they were going to your booth, I hope they didn't look miserable. And I'm happy that they were going back and back to your booth. I hope.
Yeah.
Not just running by your booth. I hope they were going to your booth too. Your booth was insane, and you like human beings. I thought it was going to be just a fucking robot.
Yeah, dude. They're right though. I know exactly what they're talking about. It looks like there was people that were buying for purpose and that were working. You know what I mean? Like you said, probably trying to acquire and throw it up online real quick. Yeah, dude. But anyways, Strafe was telling me that there are these groups of guys that go around and kind of break up and then go to these places and get, these limited items. And next thing you know, they're selling them. And you're right, dude. There's like these little pack of guys that go around, and girls, a pack of individuals that go around. They like split up. It's wild, dude. And I'll talk about that before. I've never really seen it firsthand because I don't go to a whole lot of those events, but it was definitely happening there, dude. And it's crazy to see it in action. Then you see them all later and they're all, there as a group looking at all these pieces that you're like, holy crap, dude. They got like, pretty much everything that was super crazy, limited, expensive there.
Okay, no problem, Uncle Spank, man. Sorry about the tech issues, man. We'll definitely bring you in next time, man.
Yeah,
and
all good.
Also, Plagued Earth, if you're watching, man, feel free to click on that link anytime. You'll pop into the waiting room. We can drag you on in here, man. No rush though, either, if you're casting away.
Dude, I am going to talk about Zymot real quick, if that's cool. Dude, so Zymot, I was on, first of all, I was on their store page today. They're running an incredible sale right now on ceramics and jigglers, 50% off. So check those out. I am not bullshitting you. There's 94 pages of product on their website 94 pages of product on that website. Dude, what a legit booth. I am kidding myself. I have just a stupid amount of stuff in my cart right now because it's 50% off. 50% off, dude. I have
I don't understand that. I literally saw that earlier and I was like,
yes,
that makes no sense. That
it's
makes
dope.
they're okay. Zymot, I'm sorry, man. Your prices are already stupid. But then 51% off. Hello Radical Toys, what is going on? Chris Calico, what is going on? Fucking Titty Bean Toys, what is going on, brothers?
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
Hell yeah,
Zymot Co.
fellas.
What an insane sale, man.
Yeah, an insane sale, dude. And they got some stuff that I will get. I'm not going to give it away because I did when I looked at every single page. So I'm going to make you guys are going to have to dig through and look too to see what I'm talking about. But they have some stuff in there that I had no clue that they make. And it is dope. And it is 50% off. I wish
Power.
Yeah, I wish I would have gone back by their booth before I left. Honestly, I know they had stuff on sale before I left. There's no possible way I could have got it home. I had to end up checking extra baggage to go home. It was a mess, dude. But yeah, that booth. I mean, and I think I told you, dude, we talk about their inventory, right? Right when I walked up and I saw their booth, I was like, that is so Zymot right there. Like just pieces everywhere. And they were legit, dude. It is so hard to walk into that place and pick one thing. You're going to be there forever doing it. You're like, oh, that's dope. Oh, that's dope. Oh, look at that pour. Dude, they have some resin pours on there. There's one in there that's still on their website. And they'll probably know which one I'm talking about because I had it in my hand like 10 times and didn't buy it, but probably one of the best resin pours I've ever seen as far as, the makeup and the swirl on it. It's phenomenal. It looks like marble. It's nuts.
While we're talking about Zymot Co., because I think they fall into this category for me personally. By Sunday, most of us, and please don't let this stop you from talking about decon, but as of Sunday morning, most of us were about ready to fucking punch anybody who said decon one more fucking time, only because the FOMO was so high to the point that you almost wanted to cry seeing something dude, getting bombarded with pictures with fucking One Trick Pony. You know what I mean? They're just no, Zymot Co. They're just standing there. They're waiting on your live, man. It's no, that shit was hard to see.
Yeah, no, I feel you, man. It seemed like there was just an abundance of, and I don't know, it felt like it was more than last year. I don't know, but it just like there was abundance of post this year. But you got to remember, dude, that we're also coming out of COVID and everybody's a little bit more comfortable this year. There's no mask mandates or anything like that. Or there was no test required to get in like there was last year. So there was a lot more vendors there. There was a lot more people there. It was a lot more spread out this year. So they said the attendance was higher. It didn't feel like the attendance was higher. But I think that's just because the venue was a little bit more spread out because there was more vendors there. So kind of weird how that works, but that's what happened.
I believe the attendance was higher, man.
Yeah.
We didn't get a chance to talk about the news much because Mechaducky was chilling with me and we were kind of talking about that shiz. But I discovered a show today that I didn't know it was on its 5th season. I only discovered it because of Earth to Kentucky. There's a show called A Toy Store Near You. Have you seen this shit?
I have. Man, I did see that somewhere, and I saw a post recently that I saw that one that you're talking about. Yeah, and dude, I want to say there's somebody locally here in the Bay Area that's going to be on that. I can't remember where it was or what I saw, but
see, what trips me out is homeboy here. I understand he owns a toy store, but he is also one half of the Toy Sold Separately that's done with oh my goodness, I can't think of his toy name right now, but unfortunately, but their toy show is the Figure Sold Separately. And of course, here's the E2K team over here.
Yeah.
What universe do we live in? It streams on Amazon Prime, season 5. Are you shitting me?
What? It's on Amazon Prime? See, now that I didn't know.
Yeah, dude. Hell? It's literally it's made by the same dudes that did the Toys That Made Us.
Oh man. Interesting.
What an interesting world we live in, dude. Those the boys.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. And I did see Dustin there. He didn't have a booth this time, but he had I turned around, I think I was doing a live. I turned around and there he was. Which was kind of cool.
Well, and of course, I'm not going to lie. It was funny to me. I got a message Friday night, maybe Saturday morning from Death and Strawberries. He's like, "Hey, do you know Max? Is Max at Decon?" I'm like, "One Trick Pony? Maybe, man. I don't think so. He didn't say anything to me about it, though." He's like, "Well, if not, his doppelganger's here." Sure enough, I end up hearing the story of how they both running into each other from either party. You're just like, "You fuckers."
Yeah. So it was crazy, dude. So I was, his booth, I can't remember the name of his booth. It'll come to me.
He was at the Queen booth there.
Yeah. So he said that the guy who owns that company that he was at the booth for has the license, I believe, in Japan for Garbage Pail Kids and Teletubbies. And so he had set up this really elaborate Teletubbies display, which was out on the table. And then it had these two atom bombs sitting out on top of it, these giant ones, and One Trick Ponies running this booth, dude. But he had reached out to me on, he had DM'd me and said that he was there. And I mean, what a blast meeting that guy, dude. That was crazy.
I just so you know, when I called him out on the fact that like even me being a fucking weird like stalker of the toy world didn't know he was going there, he said he told barely anybody because he knew he'd be working hard at the booth and wouldn't get a chance to see anybody. The fact he DM'd you,
dude, I have an incredible amount of respect for him, not only as an artist, but just as a human, dude. I was telling my girlfriend about him and just like how, just great of a person he is, dude. He's one of those people where, after you have like one conversation with him, you're like, man, that's a good dude. Like that dude, he's a good human, man. Like that dude, he has a huge heart.
Death and Strawberries said when he described the meeting, he's like, he was holding the door open for everybody. And I was like, is that One Trick Pony? It's like, of course he was holding the door open for everyone. Why not, right?
Yeah, dude. He's very genuine in everything, that he does. And he's just that was a huge thrill. It's always fun to meet those guys. I met a lot of them last year. But as far as meeting new people, I mean, fuck, dude, that was nuts. That was crazy, dude. You know what's crazy? I still need to reach out and tell them, but so I get all that shit at Decon, and then I come home, and what's waiting for me? A titty bean box and a fucking One Trick Pony box. And I'm just like, oh damn, dude.
It pains me so much every time I hear somebody get to One Trick Pony box. I'm just like, oh.
Well, you know what's funny? I was thinking to myself, I was telling my girlfriend, I was like, man, I don't know. I wonder if he brought anything there. And I said, knowing Max, he's probably like, you know what, this is would not be cool for me to bring my own stuff. I'm here working for somebody else. This dude paid my way, as it should be, probably, right? And I didn't want to ask him if he had anything, but then I get home and I have something here anyways, from his last drop. So, I mean, what a legend, dude. What in LA. I don't know how often he comes out to LA. I'm sure it's few and far between, but I know how.
I believe it's few and far between. He's out in Kentucky, Cincinnati.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say I know how often I get back out there, and the last time I was there, I was like 10. So few and far between that I'll be, going back there. But yeah, dude, what a great dude. Really great dude.
See, my first year in the toy scene, I kept telling everybody I don't mean to be S-ing this guy's D all the time, but he's a lovely dude, and he makes great swamps.
Yeah, just an incredible artist. And then if you check out his Toys on Tap interview and you start to kind of hear some of his history, you're just like, holy shit, dude. Like that dude he's not just some slappy who just decided to throw some resin in and was like, hey, look at this shit that I made. Like this dude has a legit history of being an incredible artist and has worked at some prestigious places. I think the story of how he got his name, One Trick Pony, is amazing. You know what story that is? And you know what, dude? I hope the guy who said that, I hope it's a fuck you every time he says that. Every time he says the word pony, dude, I hope he thinks of that. It's great. Check that out on Toys on Tap, the One Trick Pony interview, if you have not yet. It's a great listen. Yeah, Kentucky represent. I got a Kentucky hat coming, Jazz Wizzy. I decided, you know what, dude? Why not start repping hats from where everybody's from? Why not? Fuck it. I don't care. The A's suck, dude. Like, they're my team, like, till the end, but Jesus Christ, bro. I mean, shit. Plus, I just like wearing hats.
I know it sounds terrible, but if I think Titty Bean then needs like a titty down under bean, it would just,
Yeah, absolutely. Well, he was selling beanies, right? I think he sells beanies on his
he covers every base.
Yeah, he had beanies for a while, which are cool. Those are sick.
He covers all the bases, man.
Yeah.
I know Plague Earth does have a link for this, but he might be casting away here. I've got a box that he ended up sending my way. You mind if I take a little peek inside of that?
Absolutely, dude. Rip that
Take a little peek inside.
Oh yeah.
I let him know I was going to be digging into it. So if he joins later, I'm going to bug him a little bit about it. But he obviously knows how much I love that Boogers character. And
oh, that's right. You were talking about this a couple weeks ago.
I'm obsessed with his Booger figure, and he has a couple that he had left, and he reached out, and here we are today. If I can ever open this up. Same as Mechaducky sent off a box of goods that I popped with him in here, because he's a nutcase as well. But Plague Earth dropping in with some stickies. Thanks, Crumbs. Love Drew Baby. That's, of course, going to be the Spermetheus, his new vinyl.
Nice.
If you guys didn't see, he is going to be having a Blank Friday sale on the blue Spermetheus vinyl he's got.
Yes.
Plague Earth. I will say it is comical, the level of black metal. Plague Earth. God hates toy makers. Yeah. It feels that way most days. This guy's rad as hell. I like
Nice.
the War Pig, man. That War Pig figure is dope as hell too.
It is. It's a great piece.
Slizzlord, right?
Yeah.
Slizzlander.
Yes, sir.
He's another one I would say too that just like has a huge repertoire of stuff. Sorry, man, you know how it is. I'm trying to.
Yeah, dude. You're right.
I'll have to bug him about those.
Yes, because you know what? I got something from him recently too that had two of those with different symbols. They might be the same. They might be the same, but they're different stones. But yeah, curious about those.
Yeah. We're curious about those, Plague Earth, if you're chilling in the chat. And also, okay, you know your state's better than I. Is this a state?
Oh, yeah. That's the state of Texas.
Okay.
It's upside down, but that's okay.
Plague Earth, is he in Texas?
There you go. There you go. Yes, sir.
Really?
Yeah.
Drew Baby's a Texan.
Yeah, he is. And wherever he lives, now he either lives on the coast, he lives close to a lake, but whatever it is, I've seen some of his stories and stuff, and he overlooks the water that looks like a little bay or an inlet, and it's beautiful, man. I'm not sure exactly where that is in Texas, but yeah, he's a Texas guy.
Hella radical. That sounds hella awful, dog. I overate and overdrank throughout my meal. I had no dessert.
So I had. Hey, it happens. Yeah. Well, just chill out for a minute. The night is, my man. You're over. It's only 9. Take a nap. Take a little snoozy. Wake up in an hour. Get you some pie. Everything's good, man.
So I do see them in there, but also, so Drew Baby is hilarious. And tossed in one of these guys, man. They're way fucking bigger. I always say that kind of shit. Way fucking bigger than I expected, though. Have you seen the Boogers figure, man?
So I've seen it before. You had an incredible breakdown of it last week or the week before. But I don't have one, but I've seen it. I saw Drew's he did a great post about it recently and kind of said where that came from.
What a like behemoth of a figure, man.
Yeah. Oh man, that's chunky.
That's a big boy.
Wow.
And yeah, like, I'm sorry, that peg looks almost near identical to a little dink.
Yeah.
I think that's admittedly, I think that might end up going on the Grail shelf, man. And
Nice.
but also, sorry, you gotta sniff it. But fucking, and I think he did a drop of these recently, or he's planning a drop for these as well.
Yeah, I thought he said that he was going to circle back and maybe make some more of those. Oh, you got 2 of them. Look at you. Yeah, great story, man. That he posted about that figure too.
Oh,
Kind of how it came about. Very cool.
you know, I'm obsessed with that stupid story, man.
Yeah.
What's our country's version of Texas? Oh, do you guys like Texans, really?
Do we like Texans? Well, here's the thing about Texans. So Texans,
Thank you, Drew.
so Texas in the United States is regarded as, you know, everything's bigger in Texas. So Texas,
Oh,
yeah, everything is bigger in Texas. So the state fair there is like massive. Everything's on a larger scale. I know that a lot of Californians and people from the West are moving to Texas because of the housing out there is incredibly cheaper than it is out here. And I know that that is really turning a lot of Texans off. So it just depends, man, on, you know, kind of where you sit. You know, politically, it's a red state. It's probably one of the largest, you know, Republican states that, you know, probably the largest in the United States, at least.
those boys nailed it. It's Alberta.
Alberta, okay. Yeah.
So basically in Alberta, not only is it basically we're gonna have Calgary Stampede and a lot of like that type of nature, but it's also where like our oil fields are. And if I'm not mistaken, is Fort McMurray over in Alberta, guys? Correct me if I'm wrong. Fort Mac is basically like, picture the Wild West with oil. You
Yeah.
basically just have dudes just running fucking pipeline, tiny little like cities, you know, set up along the pipeline. What do dudes need when you're doing the pipeline? Coke, women, booze.
Yeah. So now geographically, is that towards the center of the United States?
Alberta starts heading up towards you guys, yeah, up here, I believe.
Okay.
We start heading towards, I guess, holy fuck. You're west. Near your, yeah, it's out west, so it's the west for us.
Okay.
Nighttime on.
In the house. What is up, my dude? If you move, take me with you. I would love to move someday. Every day that's becoming more of a reality as my kids get older. Bret Hart country, Calico Chris says. The Hitman. You know, we were talking about old school wrestling the other day, dude. WWF wrestling. And WWF wrestling, dude, there are some absolutely outstanding characters and personalities in that. I haven't been a fan for a long time now, but the old shit, fuck, give it to me. all fucking day, twice on Sundays. Man.
I got to make sure I say it because I'm going to forget because, of course, I get all weird and awkward sometimes when we're doing it this way. But Drew Baby, Plague Earth Productions, man. Thank you very, 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 very much, dude. Those are fucking sick as hell. And I want to make sure that I thank you for that, dude.
Dope.
They're dope as hell. Yeah.
I had a question for you just regarding now, does Canada have a Thanksgiving or something what would you relate your Thanksgiving to?
Our Thanksgiving is identical to yours. We basically acknowledge that we fucked a bunch of people over and have been abusing the hell out of their land.
Right.
But we try and say thank you and like be appreciative towards those in our families. But we also do it, I believe, like the second week in October.
The second week, and what do you call it?
Thanksgiving.
Oh, you.
But that's why we call yours American Thanksgiving. It would sound stupid if you called it American Thanksgiving. We call it American Thanksgiving because in our brains growing up, it would always be like the good TV comes on around American Thanksgiving. You start seeing Simpsons, Family Guys, all that stuff, American Thanksgiving.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people have been calling it just the giving recently. I don't know.
Like it's almost like the purge, but for giving.
Yeah, it's the giving.
I can get down.
The giving.
I gotta step away. I gotta step away again, man, for a quick second. I'm gonna pop right back. I'm sorry, too much coffee tonight.
No, all good, man. I'm gonna show a couple things real quick. Now I showed these on the last show. I was on just briefly the show before this last show, but then the show before we talked about a couple of these giveaways. So I wanted to show. These are from Dark Rainbow. So Dark Rainbow from Australia. We're going to be giving these away separately. If you guys aren't familiar with Dark Rainbow, these are off the hook. 3.75. You can find these in that F is for Frankenstein show that the one and only Lab Monkey #9 put on recently. But there's that one right there. And then there's this guy right here, which is freaking incredible. The qualities on these are insane. Magnetic articulation, hand painted. The cards are insane. Really cool work. You can see how it kind of it's got that shiny, reflective look. Yeah, they are really good. The one thing that I really like about the back right here is the way that these blisters kind of pop on. You just have this little tab here at the bottom, and once that tab, you lift it up, it lifts right up and the figure comes out. But yeah, dude, so good. For whatever reason, I didn't realize Dark Rainbow was out of Australia, but they sure as hell are. And if you can get your hands on some Dark Rainbow stuff, I'm telling you, the quality on these is freaking insane. I think E2K had some Dark Rainbow stuff for a little bit. They might still have it. But these will be giveaways at some point.
And you guys know that I'm a fucking weirdo and I just weirdly like this shit. I believe they reached out to us actually wanting to potentially come in and say hi when we do that giveaway, which I'm always down for, man. Get to nerd out and ask somebody about their shit.
Yeah, Jimmy Folklore, the blister does open. That little tab just kind of locks up behind the card, and you just kind of bend it down and that bottom of the blister pops right up and then just goes right back on. Good to go. Really cool. He's got another
smart, man.
The Phantasma piece that I'm not quite sure where it is, but the card on that one too is really cool. It had those tabs all the way around the side and the bottom, and the card just kind of slid in, which was a really good idea too.
It's interesting to see all the different ways that you guys are coming up with to be able to basically do a blister, but still give us access to the figures, knowing that so many of us want to at least handle it once.
Yeah, exactly, man. And and there are those pieces out there that people want to seal in there and not take out. I think, you pretty much nailed it right there, where I would rather have it to where you can do both, take it out, whether it's magnetic, whether it's, Velcro or that style is really cool because you don't have any of that other BS on the card. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about little Velcro pieces coming unstuck, which I have. And that just kind of, it's a really clean look too.
I don't know about you, man. I genuinely get concerned about pieces like hanging certain pieces and the blister falling off, and then that resin piece fucking just like landing somewhere I don't want it to land.
Yeah, and it's been an issue just recently in this room. I had to kind of make some modifications in here because this time of the year the heat starts kicking on. And there's a register right above my shit right here. Which during the heat, like I need that open to keep it cool in here. But then when it starts to get cold, dude, that stuff, I mean, it heats up and it's a very small space in here. So I tried to keep it at like 68. But honestly, in this room, it heats up like that. And the register was not closing all the way. So I was still getting some air in here. And there was a couple pieces where, you come in and that bubble is like, kind of waving there. You're like, oh, shit. So I had to put a new register on there where I can just kind of lock it and keep it closed. And that sucks. Another reason I need more space.
Never ending, man.
I know.
What up, man?
Shed quarters, what is up, my dude? Dude, if you don't mind real quick, I did that post the other day for Decom, my last one, and I gave a shout out to a ton of people, and there's 2 dudes that I forgot on there. I went back to edit it, and I was at the maximum number of characters on there by like 4. So every time I tried to add them to it, it wouldn't let me do it. Epoxy Crusader and Dimension X Toyz. Great guys. I met them the very last day. It's very weird, dude, at Comic-Con, not Comic-Con, but at Designer Con, because at least for me, I don't want to be the guy who's waiting at your booth for you to be finished with the conversation so I can jump in. I think that looks very weird and creates kind of an awkward situation where like, you're starting to rush, whoever you're trying to talk to. And I was like, hold on, I gotta talk to this other guy. So let me cut this one off. I think that's very rude. So I just kind of passed by and kind of walked back and forth a couple times. And people were talking to him all the time, and I missed him. I finally caught up with him on Sunday, and just talked to him, very quickly. But great dude, man. I ended up buying that Duck Hunt figure that he had. Yeah, dude. I think it was a run of 5. And I snagged it, dude. What a cool piece that is. And then the guy from Dimension X Toys, man, I didn't buy anything from him. But we talked real quick, and he gave the show a shout out. He's like, dig the show. And so yeah, anyways, I didn't get them in the post, but what up to those guys? Very, very cool meeting them. Shit, dude, Epoxy was just dude. He was just on our show. What a great guy.
He is like a legend, dude. I can't believe that he ended up coming down to Decon from Mexico. He's been to Japan recently. Like, he is just slaying it, man. It's really exciting to see.
Exactly. Kind of said he was on tour doing a few things. But they were right there in the thick of things, man. A couple other guys I didn't get to meet, but for the most part, dude, just a phenomenal time.
I can't even fathom, man. It must have been a bit of a whirlwind. Like, you should be very proud, dude. Like, what you did is not an easy feat. Like, I don't know if many of us in the chat, I couldn't, you were in the thick, dude.
You know what, man? The Fletch is in the house. What's going on, Fletch? So, I'll bring up Fletch right now, man. It's, you see that, and like I said, dude, you start to get into the show and you kind of realize what an undertaking it is just to get there as a shopper and someone who's just kind of checking shit out, but then to be there as a vendor, dude, and all the hours that you put in, keeping track of things, dude. I mean, it's like none of this stuff is given to you. It's just like, you want to rent this space, you pay me X amount of dollars, and you're fucking on your own. So for these guys to do that and take that on, it was Fletch's first year, dude, and it's a learning experience, man. There's definitely things I think he'll do different next time, and it'll be bigger and better. And but for a first time, for someone just to go out there and say, to some of your homies, like, hey, you want to go sell some shit at Decon? I think it went amazingly well. And it was, it's a trip, dude. You're right, man. It's just, seeing everybody in person. Here's a quick story, dude. I saw Death and Strawberries leave right before I got in here, but John, dude, what a great guy. So I'm walking up on Friday and I'm on the phone with my girlfriend, and I mean, I don't know if you've ever seen him like in person or a picture of him. This
He's
dude,
huge.
he's a giant. Like he's that species on Earth that like there was giants, and he's like one of the few that are left. I'm walking up there. I did not realize he was that tall. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen him without a beard, right? No, it's been a fake beard every time, but I don't think I've ever seen him without a beard. So I'm walking up on Friday, and I'm talking on the phone like this, and I see this massive mountain making a beeline towards me, just kind of out of my peripheral. And I'm just like, what the fuck is that? And so I'm just keeping on talking, and I didn't realize it was him. And he's getting closer and closer. And I'm telling my girlfriend, I'm like, hey, hold on a second. I think this guy wants to talk to me. Well, then he's kind of being funny, and we're like rubbing arms. We're touching arms. And dude, I literally felt like this. Do I know you? And he's just, he introduced himself, and it was very funny. We got a very cool picture with, he's actually resting his arm on top of my head because he is legit that tall, dude. I thought Eddie from Resin Blood was extremely tall, which he is. But John from DNS is just, I mean, he makes him look small.
He sent me a picture of himself, his wife, and some like college roommates the one day. And I noticed he was considerably larger than his wife. But it just so happened that he was also like a tower over everybody else in the room. And I couldn't help but be like, hey, dude, like, it's one thing for your wife to be petite, but like, are all your homies petite as well? Or are you fucking massive? And he's basically just like all casual. It's like, oh, I'm like 6, whatever. You're just like, oh.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you know what's funny? You know what I realized too, when he was at his booth with Kerfloss, they were sitting kind of face to face in their booth, and they were kind of working on stuff. So they were sitting down in chairs. Me and DNS were almost eye level. He was still a little taller than me as he was sitting down. So he's sitting down, and I'm just like, oh, cool, I can see this guy now. But yeah, dude, what a giant. But
Now,
guy, he did give us. You know what? Maybe I'll show him next week, dude. But he did give a couple giveaways. Too, from his run of stuff that he had there, which was super awesome. Zymot too. They gave a piece for a giveaway, which is a massive piece, dude. I think I showed you how like the size of it. I put a 3.75 up next to it. That is solid resin. It's solid resin, dude. It's huge. It's huge. I don't know how they got all that stuff out there. I know that they said, I can't remember how many bags they said that it was out there, but it was a lot. And this, I mean, just that alone, getting your stuff there. What a challenge, dude. Holy crap. I think setting it up and taking it down. Good Lord. Nuts.
he's like I picture almost like a blacksmith, but of resin and plastic goods. Just always just fucking pounding away.
Yeah. Well, if you check out that store, you think to yourself, that has to be what's going on. 94 pages of product. And they do say sold out on some of them, but it's like, I'd say there's less than 20 things on there that are probably sold out.
And you could find a variation of it. If a colorway wasn't there, you'll find another colorway of what you're looking for, probably.
Absolutely. And again, they're having a 50% off sale. I believe it's 51% or something like that, right?
51%.
Yeah, go check that out if now's the time to buy for you for some Zemotico stuff. They might have some gifts in there. Think about some gifts, dude. You can get gifts in there for under $20. under
Yeah.
20. And you know what? It was probably started off at $40. No one has.
That's what I was saying earlier. Their prices are rather reasonable to begin with before 51% off.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, no one has to know. You bought them an expensive piece of art. You know, little do they know it cost you less than $20. Hit that shit up.
Hey, Hello was in the chat, but I don't know if he's still chilling here, but he's been sharing some shit with me and I made sure to get his approval. But he's going to be dropping these guys tomorrow, Friday. The Dantes are finally going to be dropping. Dante Canes. You've been seeing these guys?
You know what, dude? He had one a little while ago, and I saw another one today of like a painted one. That one's sick, but those painted ones too are super fresh. I like the glow on those, dude. But yeah, I do like that figure.
See, I didn't realize I missed a painted one on his page. I'll have to go back there later, I guess, and make sure to check that out.
Yeah, there was one a while ago, and you know what? It might have been the same one.
Oh,
for sale previously.
Further down, the one from Toys R Guts show.
It might have been. There was another one that he had a vampire-looking guy. Then that same one. That one was freaking. I still need to hit him up about one of those. Those ones are. I can't remember the name of that one. Hella help me out on that one. That one was dope.
Now we'll never know.
Yeah. Dude, another thing that I wanted to bring up real quick was Disgustin' Justin. Have we talked?
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
we brought up Disgustin'. We've had Disgustin' Justin. We've brought up a couple of their pieces a few times. And if anything, we've brought up Wonky Toy Company a few times as well. But you ended up grabbing the Disgustin' Justin Burger Bill, which, okay. How did it with Burger Bill?
Okay, so that whole right. So I had seen the slushy guy, and I didn't do my research. I didn't realize that the slushy guy is like the fourth character in that set. So there's a root beer guy, there's a slushy, there's the burger, and there's one more, I believe, milkshake, maybe ice cream cone, but all original sculpt and super cool, man. Actually, I'm trying to. I meant to message him today because I want to buy the rest of that line. I bought that little Burger Bill.
And you're hooked.
They're dope, dude. They're
solid.
They're really well done. They're original paint. He's 21 years old.
Yeah.
He's got, him and Wonky just had a little table, and I finally found them.
Yeah.
I was just looking at the map backwards. I'm a fucking idiot. But they had some really cool stuff.
Yeah, see, we pulled up actually right before you went off to Decon. We ended up looking at his the Slushy Steve. That was the one we pulled up, and we were looking at the Slushy Steves. But it's jokes. He ended up grabbing one of the Burger Bills from his booth.
Slushy Steve, yeah. So what I want to say about Disgustin' Justin though is he just hit 1,000 followers. So congrats to you, my man.
Nice.
That probably happened during Decon, I would think.
It's funny you mentioned that. So if anything, I meant to bring this up at the beginning of the show, but kind of gotten thrown off a little bit. If any of you have noticed, I'm trying to get some of like the 1K and under $30 pieces up on our page right now. And there's a couple of people that we can't put from the 1K from the time that we mentioned them because they've actually now exceeded 1K. So congratulations actually to Splendid Editions, Hurt Toys, Baba Drock, Phantasm Toys, and Zymot Co. Those are all people that we've mentioned before were under 1,000, and in this short span of time have sort of like beaten the 1,000, man. I'm not saying, for the record, I'm not linking it with us. You guys fucking crushed over 1,000. It's just comical to me the other day. I was like, we can't even list you as being an under 1,000 artist because you've beaten 1,000 now.
Yeah, right, exactly.
It's a good thing.
As Grand Inquisitor Vlad is the other guy. That's the dude I was thinking of. That one that he did. I don't know if it was the first one or something like that, but there was one that had paint on it that was just phenomenal. I remember there was a couple posts when that went in that Dante Kane came out, and those ones were just exquisitely done, I would say. So great job on that, Corey. Epoch, another guy I wanted to give a quick shout out to, man. Just did his kind of decon after drop and sold the fuck out, bro.
Yeah, I thought that was, you know what, man? I wish everybody would have just sold out at Decon so you didn't have to bring anything back. That would have been fucking like spectacular. But holy hell, yeah, dude. What the fuck, man?
Yeah,
Did that
lots
drop
of
and
stuff.
sold out?
Yeah, dude, he had a lot of stuff at Decon, and it was just all killer stuff as well. I am gonna actually try to get him on the show in the next couple weeks. He said he's absolutely down to come on and chat with us, man. He's a fan of the show. But what a great dude, man. That is one of like the best dudes. Very humble, loves to chat. Stood right up and wants to talk right away, man. He's just a great dude. Calico Chris is under 1,000. If you want to see some good tattoo stuff, I believe Calico Chris is hanging out there in Pennsylvania around old Eddie Kess. But give Chris Calico Tattoos. Calico Chris Tattoos, give him a follow. Some really cool work on there.
I'll add it to the ring of artists to showcase in a hot sec here. Because I mean, let's face it, we're still going to show you a bajillion tabs probably at some point of a bunch of people because that's kind of what we do.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Yeah. So, anyways, what else is going on, man?
Whole bunch of different shit. My tabs are not as organized as I normally like them to be, but I think we were talking about it. There's going to be a whole bunch of different drops happening going on this week, starting with Kyle Kerwin, actually. He was watching last week, ended up winning one of the giveaways. Let me pull this up here. I'm just gonna go down the list. Why not? So Kyle Kerwin, if you guys aren't familiar with Kyle Kerwin, I looked like a dummy last week when I was like, Kyle Kerwin, man, I'm not familiar with your work. What's your IG? And then I went onto the Clutter Magazine website like the next day, and Kyle Kerwin's name was fucking everywhere because they've been in the scene for quite a while and they've put a lot of really good fucking work out there, and I'm just an idiot. So yeah, Kyle Kerwin doing a drop tomorrow. I would also
Lisa
say
Fur, that's dope, dude. Yeah, I saw Lisa Fur had some stuff at Decon too. That's another Lisa Fur. That's a really, that flame character is all over the place. That's dope. Chris
yeah,
Bryant.
they did a collab on that. Chris
Yeah.
Bryant Customs, I think we've looked at before. And I think we've actually questioned before if they're doing like paint apps or if they're doing full casts and shit. I think they're doing full casts and shit.
Yeah, so go back to that other page that you just had with the line. So the one on the top right corner, click on that and read the comment about Master English.
Sent by Master English Customs.
So I have about 35.5s by Chris Bryant Customs.
And you've never put it together that I wouldn't have put together that they're a bunch of Master English custom pieces.
And I think some of them are. So I'll have to have him clarify. I think he probably even did clarify for me at one point, but he did send me some heads, and he said the heads were casted by Master English. And I think I even misspoke on a episode a long time ago where I said that they were sculpted by Master English. And I don't think that's the case at all, because I don't think Master English is sculpting.
Nobody cast them.
Yeah.
You know, something really interesting that came up actually from Hella again when he was talking to me about the Island of Misfit Toys, and I think this is really fucking cool. So I asked him if I could share it. So basically, there was an artist who ended up wanting to participate, but they don't cast. They actually do like kit bashes and customs, but they wanted to participate in there. And so Death and Strawberries offered to send a bunch of casted pieces to Kingdom of Spiders, who then kit bashed together a piece to send to Hella Radical Toys. So Hella Radical Toys now has a custom kit bash from Kingdom of Spiders that was casted parts made by Death and Strawberries, which happened to be the Kerfloss #2 figure pieces. Isn't that dope as shit?
Wow. You know what's funny, dude, is, you know, when you always see these shows, when people find stuff in garages or something like that, and they say, well, I have this car or whatever. It was Johnny Cash's car back in back in like 1950. And they're like, all right, well, let me see the paperwork that proves that. Like, that's what that sounded like. Well, it was here and here and here. And then it was traded over here. And then this guy kind of did this over here. That's wild, dude.
When he told me that, I was like, do you mind if I share that later, dude? Because like that's insane. That is a pretty clear example of this toy community where you have somebody like Barry Boba doing the Isle of Misfit toys. Then you've got somebody casting the fucking pieces from a toy that was made from the ground up by another artist in the scene, sending those off to an artist in the scene, who then painted and kit bashed them to send to another artist in the scene. What the fuck? Toyception.
Yeah. Yeah, Toyception, exactly. Oh man. So yeah, we were talking about drops, dude. Who did?
Yeah, I got sidetracked. Sorry.
Yeah, no, all good.
Because admittedly, Toy de Jour's got a show coming up that I feel like kind of slid right past a bunch of us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? What the heck was this? Go see a Star War, a What If group art show.
Dude, I think legit that's the first time that I'm seeing that.
Dude, it snuck right up on me, and it's coming up for December 9th. So like it really just snuck right on up. Boom. Kachina, dropping some of these guys Friday, 10 a.m. PST, Pacific Standard Time. The amount of different glow effects on this are pretty insane to me. Between rub, sprays, brushes, it's like, shit, yeah, dude, this guy's a goopy fucking glow machine. Mukoyama. Check this shit out.
Wow, good one.
Yeah, that little fucking sushi car.
Dude, look at that with the rain cloud above its head.
So that's a Stormy Cat that he's been doing for a long while now. I mean, I really like that sculpt a lot, to be honest. But that's the first time I've seen it in a car.
No, that's
great. Oh, well. So this is normally how that figure looks.
Oh, there you go. Right on. Oh, that's a nice looking one too.
Yeah. Mukoyama is fantastic. I don't understand like how they've just come out of the park, just hit after hit after hit, man, nonstop.
Yeah.
Last Resort Toys is going to be offering a huge sale, 20% off on everything. I did check. That means that these $85 guys will be about $69. So if anybody's interested, it'll be about $15 off on those.
That Barracuda. Oh, what is that?
Cord Viper. Now, I'm not too familiar with their work because unfortunately it's hard to necessarily like. We have contacted the winner via DM. Thank you to everyone who applied. So it's like lottery grabs, but like they're clearly producing waves.
Yeah, dude, that thing was cool. Whatever that one was that we just looked at.
This is insane.
Yeah, dude, that's sick.
I don't know who's doing the paint apps for them. Unfortunately, sometimes this is we were talking to Mecha Ducky about this earlier. Sometimes you'll see vinyl toys and you're like, well, who made this? Who's the artist?
Yeah.
They look great though. They're fucking clean.
Yeah, those are cool. Very nice.
Nerf herders.
Oh,
custom.
Nice. Nerf herders. Let me take them off my list because I have them on my list. But yeah, dude, great one. This is going to be by their Facebook drop only. Also, I don't want to cut you off, dude, but I just wanted to say thank you to Nerf Herders Customs. Jason sent me some extra weapons the other day. I got them right before I went out of town. So I haven't had a chance to thank him yet, but thank you, Jason, for doing that. His wife made these. They're freaking amazing. That's going to be a Facebook drop only, I believe tomorrow or Saturday. So check that out. But they've been pumping out some really, really killer stuff recently. Those things are, what were those called? Ice Stormtroopers. Yeah, that's what it was. Very cool. That one's on tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, and you're right. It's gonna be on a Facebook. So don't go looking just like for a store. Click up here at their Facebook. That's where the drop's happening. They're very specific about that.
Yeah. So cool,
Neko Satsu. Sorry, guys.
Satsu.
This is how they chose to display the video. So they gave us a little run through here of some of the stuff they've got going up in their shop. I did try and take a peek through, but I didn't quite see if they had it just laid out. But they're doing a shop drop tomorrow, so Friday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Bunch of old pieces and new pieces are going up into the shop. I'll admit, this is very, in my opinion, this is work of theirs I haven't seen before. Usually the work of theirs I'm familiar with are going to be more along the lines of like, where are they? They're a little bit clunkier from what I've seen. So I wasn't expecting necessarily what we were seeing up above.
Yeah, I do have the Crimson Trooper from a couple years back. I believe it was a DKE deal a couple years ago, but
damn. Great work though, man. A lot of fucking great work in there.
I like the graphics on that one with the red and the orange right there in the middle. That's sick.
It's almost like if Pendragon and 6 Foot Turkeys collabed.
Yeah.
Of course, the boys Zymut Co. We've got them pulled up because we were going to go over the 51% off. And of course, Bootleg Toy Co. Man, they've been appearing everywhere lately. We've shown off this guy here that they had done before. And recently, I'm noticing them disappear everywhere. And they've got this guy here 3 days ago that they just popped up as well. So I'd be keeping our eyes peeled for them. I'm curious. And Mutant Master. I liked this.
Oh man. Yeah, I was gonna say you see that He-Man that he's getting, dude. I'm in the process of moving everything around because I'm trying to put all that glow stuff back finally.
Oh shit.
Yeah, then add all the decon stuff. You can't really see behind me, but it's a fucking disaster in here.
I can only imagine, man.
It's crazy. But I was moving all my Mutant Master stuff around, and dude, if you're looking for some really super clean 5.5s, he's from France. And just really super, super nice stuff, man. That He-Man will be nice.
Our homie I Need Toys is gonna be doing a drop December 3rd.
Saw that. Yeah.
Doing a great job, dude. Dude's killing it.
Dude, I like those Game Boy. I will never forget getting my first Game Boy, which I still have. But Game Boy was a huge part of my childhood. Around 5th, 6th grade is when that came out for me. And it blew my mind.
He hit a lot of marks. Game Boy. He also paid homage to the Guerra de Galaxia. They had a little character that's supposed to be kind of like an R2. That's like a little flat guy with an antenna on top. So it's like paying homage to that. He's got UV in there. He's got glow in the dark in there. Killed it. I almost forgot. He even cut for the screens. He grabbed those vintage stickers, cut those, put those on for the screens. Killed it.
Yeah. Dope, man. Really cool. Lots of glow in there. Lots of glow, lots of UV.
For anybody who loves HH Toys, they are saying they're going to be 20% off, but also I believe they're going to be going dark. Yeah, listen up. The 19th of December is our last shipping day of 2022, and then they're going dark mode until the 20th. So if anybody needs to try and get some Mythos, get them in now.
Dude, I finally landed one of those. In that, if you see in that last post that they did right there in the right there, there's a Voltar in like the kind of near the top in orange.
In orange. Oh,
yeah, right there.
That's yours?
Yeah, I've tried to get one of those so many times, dude, and they go so fast. And I saw that one just randomly, and it had only been posted for like 3 minutes. But it was a great deal. It was like $20, dude. It was great.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's a steal.
Yeah. And actually those skeletons down there, those were for sale too. And those were really cheap. Those went really quick. Anyways.
No, man, some of these companies, like, they're able to unfortunately produce for absurd pricings, right?
Yeah.
That Damn Joe is another one. He can have some really good prices sometimes. This is actually going to be a 4-pack coming out on Friday. Killer 4-pack. I know a buddy of mine has a couple of these guys. They were always actually really well priced. They show up in the flea market from time to time. Good old fucking that damn Joe, man. Does a week go by?
It really doesn't. It really doesn't.
I don't know if anybody noticed. Retro World Korea, it's not normally in the wheelhouse we drop, but for anybody who's just a collector of the vintage, the weird, anybody who wants to bootleg, anybody who wants to get their hands on some OG bootlegs, this place hit it up. They've got currently a huge sale going on, 50% off on all Keshi. Just use that BF Keshi. 25% off everything is going to be BF all. Boom, I'll copy and paste this. If you guys are looking for pieces to kit bash from or do customs from, great opportunity to get some fodder. Boom. Toyz currently upgraded their Vendatronic. So they didn't have this option before. They have a Vendatronic now where they're going to be doing kind of like Trash Surprise does and Greasy Creeps do, where you can basically pay for amount of spins and they'll be able to actually pull you stuff from like a vending machine of the assorted goodies. We're almost there. Turbo Pistola had a couple of these put up into the shop, but it was a couple of days ago. We didn't get a chance to cover it on our last episode because it fell right in between. There's actually a huge play set, 4.5 inches high, 6 inches wide.
Wow.
We don't see many play sets. I wanted to give a just a big shout out to Fletch, man. I know we've been kind of giving him a shout out all week. I know that he worked his butt off at this convention. I know a lot of you did. We don't mean to miss any of you. This is our homie. They're repping a bunch of our homies. Just want to give a good shout out to him, man. Put in a lot of work on all these shots. We all know how long this takes to do all this.
Yeah, that was a tough one, man. I talked to him after that, and he spent a lot of time doing each one of those individual posts on there. But that claim sale is closed. But if there's something that you see on there that you want, hit him up, and I'm sure he can work something out with you, either if he still has it or getting you in touch with whoever was. If you don't see it, like I said, he kept everything to date on that site as far as what's sold and what's still available. So,
of course, Kerfloss is going to be doing a drop on Black Friday as well. So if you missed any of the Bounty Buddies before, it's going to be 4-packs are $100, $80 loose. Battle Gators are dropping. So if you've been noticing recently, he's been working on the Battle Gators. Get over to those. There we go. This is going to be the third and the newest installment in that Gator line. And free domestic shipping, 50% off international shipping. Stay tuned for the drop date and time. So it looks like it's going to be a Friday drop of those.
yeah.
And also, shout out when we're talking about the homies. Big ol' shout out to the homies, Death and Strawberries and Kerfloss. Also, can we talk about how Death and Strawberries isn't just tall, but fucking jacked?
I think he's sucking it in right there, but that's okay. I'm just kidding, man. That dude is he's a huge person. But just a really, really incredibly nice guy. Super humble dude. Was really happy to be there. It was a big show for him, man. It was his first one. I want to say he sold out of something, maybe the Sogmaster or something like that. I did buy one of them, the Roboto themed one from He-Man, and then he had the extendable neck ETs, and then he had some of those Burger King guys out there too. And I saw him, I believe, Friday or Saturday, and he was moving right along. I mean, stuff was selling. It was great. They had some of those wax kits. They had the armature kits, which I think are also going to be available through Herfloss stuff. Yeah, man, it was a good time.
They fucking crushed it.
Killed it.
Green Plastic Tunnels has a drop tomorrow as well.
Yeah. Yep.
Tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And I don't know what that is. I don't know if there's going to be a figure in there or if that's it.
Does anyone ever know?
Yeah, and I mean, that's like talking shit, but for a Green Plastic Tunnels piece, I could really see it going either way. That could be it.
Man, I can't even believe it. I got you. I need you to hold the fort for 2 more seconds. No more coffee when we do these.
This guy. So one thing that I will bring up right now is Plagued Earth Productions. One thing that I wanted to bring up with them, if they were going to be on here, was this piece that I got from them last couple shows ago, I think. This is from Drew and Kilo Flow, and it's this casket that opens, and this is something that I didn't show on the show last time, but these right here are real coyote bones from what he said, and it opens up this really cool display on that side, and then you have this gold creature, and we were just talking about like Drew's variety of stuff that he has, that vinyl war pig, and then the Spermetheus, that one, but this is just a 3.75 static gold creature, but it's sick, man. Really well done. I've noticed on some of these figures when you put too much glitter in them, I think from whichever way that you have the mold, sometimes the stuff can get all kind of bunched up or kind of float down to the front or to the top or to the back, but this one is just nothing but pure sparkle. That's really, really sick. It's black paint on the face there. Anyways, this is one of the better setups that I've seen as far as the display goes from Plagued Earth, with that nice bright green moss on the inside.
He actually has more of those, I think, in the store too.
Yeah, I had set this out because if he was going to be on the show, I wanted to ask him about it. This one had it's got real coyote bones in there from what his girl Kilo Flow said. And just a really cool, just a really sharp setup and display on there. I did buy some of these caskets. Fletch had some caskets for a really good price that fit a 3.75, really, really sharp, and it makes a great display. And that may be under Loza and Fletch if you check that out. I didn't see any of that stuff on the claim post, but
they might bring it with them to one of the fairs they go to, or
yeah, they're really cool. And him and his girlfriend Jamie, they both they both pour those, and they're awesome. They make great little display pieces. Yeah, a Bounty Buddy 4-pack from Kerfloss, that's a must get. Those are great, dude. Solid, chunky originals.
I love the new colorway too.
Me too, man. Those colors that he showed, that kind of that bluish and the yellow, those are sharp. Those are really nice colors. Mine are just more primary colors. I think mine are like blue, orange, green, and red. But they're sick, dude. Those are one of the first things that, now if you remember the Bounty Buddies when they first came out, I think it was a peak of them, and then it was quite a while before they actually came out.
Yeah,
I kept on asking him, like, hey man, when are those Bounty Buddies coming out? He's probably like, dude, shut the hell up about the Bounty Buddies already.
well, especially at that time he was working out a #2 release and was getting molds out to a lot of folks, but the new colorway of these are, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, which is funny, dude, because it's like sometimes these guys just kind of disappear for a while, and then you're like, where'd they go? And they come out with something. And a great example would be Kerfloss when this goth rebel soldier that he came out with at Decon. I snagged one of those, dude, and no bullshit, that right there is incredible, dude. It really is. It's static. There's so much detail and nice fine paintwork in it, but it feels that piece almost feels like it's metal in your hand.
Like a die cast figure, eh?
Yes, it's cold, it's heavy. I don't know what to say about it, dude. He was there making these little caskets, which are amazing. The display on these things is so cool. That little sombrero punch out, dude, where the Chad would go as the little window in the casket, dude. What a great idea. but I believe some of those are going to be in his Black Friday drop too, man. Look at that right there. What a cool display. And it's got a little tab that locks in. And then it's got a bubble that goes on a little card, dude. Just super, super clean. I mean, you'd expect nothing else from the man, right? But that's a really cool piece, dude. Original sculpt, and you can probably do some research on there. He usually documents really well.
That's just it. I think that's why it was such a surprise, was because we were all watching along on the process, but then all of a sudden it was like 2 weeks ago we're seeing like first casts, and then boom, and then a whole fucking table. And it's like, damn, dude. Shed Quarters, congratulations, man. That's a fantastic grab.
Oh wow, that sale's going on right now, eh?
Apparently it's going on right now.
Okay. There you go.
It did pass 12 a.m. on the Eastern time zone, so.
Oh, that's right. I'm only at 9:45 here. Oh, geez. Okay, I see. That makes sense.
And of course, you gave a shout out to Epoxy Crusader. Here's Epoxy Crusader with Dimension X Toys. If you guys aren't familiar with either one of them, we obviously had Epoxy Crusader on the other day. This is one B to the J. You mentioned you grabbed this, eh?
Yeah. Yep.
That's a good grab, man.
Yeah, I thought it was cool. Duck Hunt.
And Dimension X Toys is actually responsible for these big, giant fucking usually like turtles and stuff, but basically they're 1/16 I believe 1/8.
Yeah,
I got my scales wrong.
No, you're right, dude. Yeah, they had one at Decon, the Toxie, and I believe it sold.
Good.
Yeah, I think it was like $500, and it sold early.
The paint applications that he applies to these are phenomenal for the size, because like when you consider how big these things are and how time consuming that would be, and then you're going to notice like every fucking flaw and imperfection, and yet like, are you shitting me? Fully articulating?
Massive, dude.
Yeah, he kills it, man.
Yeah, what a nice guy too, man. Super
you
cool.
Can tell, like, look at that smile. You can tell he's just a fucking nice dude, just loves making fucking toys.
Yeah, nice dude.
You guys aren't following him. I'm gonna pop that there. My goodness, what else we got over here? Oh, Disgusting Justin, we were chatting about Calico Chris Tattoos. If you're not following, get on over there. If you are in this Horsham, PA area, schedule a tattoo. Go get some tattoos.
Yeah.
Wow.
Still, man.
And then you were talking about Loza and Fletch have the fantastic coffins. I also happen to notice on their table that these are way fucking bigger than they look.
Yeah, dude. And so here's what's crazy about those. So they did have a couple of those out there. Those things are so well done, dude. Like when you see them, it looks like something that was more commercially made. That not look like a handmade piece of thing. So I think it kind of threw some people off, and they didn't really realize what exactly it is that they were looking at. But yeah, dude, those are great. If you're looking like for a little stash box or something like that, those are awesome.
And then those are the coffins you grabbed?
Dude, I think I have that one. I'm looking at the back of it, and if it's not that one, it's very, very similar to it. But yeah, there was that one, which I think his girlfriend Jamie poured, and then from Fletch, that was all types of neon that I grabbed. And I actually stuck a Wendigo figure in it, a UV Wendigo that looks, and it makes a great display. Super cheap, really cool display.
I love their octopi as well. Octopus, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like they're such a good mold.
Yeah.
And all of his fucking skulls. There you have it, folks. Weird night, man. A little sporadic, a little all over.
Yeah, dude. I'm gonna mention a couple more drops for tomorrow. Ones that people probably already saw. Man, because you know what? Actually, I'm looking at these now. I'm crossing off some of them because we already talked about them. How about New Transylvania? Are you familiar with New Transylvania? New Transylvania does a lot of 3D printed droids. The Zarinki is the other little dinosaur piece, right?
Yeah, that's where I'm familiar with them from, is this guy here, but I've not seen these.
Yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. Is it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. Yeah, those are cool.
Very Droid Foundry.
Yeah, yes. Good call. Very Droid Foundry. Dave going over, he's got a bunch of leftover decon stuff that he's doing. I think pretty much everybody's familiar with Dingy Dave and his stuff that he's got going on. Lots of double cast, triple cast. There you go, pictures of Decay.
I got my first Dingy Dave tonight, thanks to Mechaducky.
Nice. Those are cool, dude. Those are, so he was giving those away with purchases, but then he also had a like a 25-cent machine. See that right there? But it was a $10 machine.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and they had those in there. So
heck yeah.
TL Flanagan, she's got that Santa Claus on Saturday. Now that's probably one of the first Christmas releases that I've seen of a Christmas character, but that'll be out Saturday. That'll be cool.
Thanks for Skilled One. Thanks for popping in, man. Happy Thanksgiving, dude.
Skilled, what's happening, my dude? Just that Skilled, nice little package from Decon.
I bet it was one of those ones that you're looking at everything coming in, being like, ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, these Santas are insane, and she put them together so fast, so well, man. I couldn't get over that. When I saw her put in a little bit of extra touches on the cheeks, and that's where they were at, I was like, no, you're there already.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, dude. That's, I mean, and she also has a lot of process videos that are just super, super cool. How about this one? DLL Customs. You familiar?
Derek Log.
Yeah.
No, what we got here?
Yeah. So in the top left there, there's a lot of stuff coming out. Some re-releases, it looks like. Now, I just started following this account recently. There's a lot of stuff that's going to be coming out. Looks like all that stuff is coming back. Whatever that things with the wings is cool.
Very Zymet Co.
Yeah.
Oh, mold trees.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, Mr. Potato Head. Who the fuck cast some Mr. Potato Head?
Oh, wow. I just realized what that was. That's nuts, dude. Galaxor is another one. I saw them at Decon, but I've been following them for a while.
Yeah, we actually showcased them. You might have been at Decon when we showed these guys off, because we were looking at their pieces going to Decon. Cool.
Yeah.
Black Friday sale.
Yep. Cool stuff there. Last one that I had, well, actually, Skull Pit Mutants. They're running a sale 20% off.
Who's sorry?
Skull Pit Mutants.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Got a lot tonight that I missed.
Oh, dude, there's so many, dude. We probably missed 100 more. Yeah, Skull Pit Mutants, man. They got some rad stuff, but they're use promo code holy shit, and that will get you 20% off.
I like the accessory for some reason. That's what sells me on that guy. I like that little accessory with him. Cool.
Last one, Good Ghoul Toys.
Yeah, we've all been watching them this past week.
Yeah, Dungeon Diver sets. All those sets are coming back in stock. Yeah, those right there. And then there's a couple other figures that I have in other sets, but looks like those are all back in stock tomorrow. Nice.
Yeah, I was really happy to see these landing at some people's places of residence lately. They're another one.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, because you weren't here last week for a good portion of the show. Some of the dudes that you were noticing their decon leftover drops, we were going to their pages looking forward to what they were bringing to Decon. So it's like,
Yeah, that's funny, dude. That's another one of those things about Decon you just don't really realize is how many people that you start following and that you start seeing. And then next thing you know, like you look up their account and you're just, holy shit, dude, there's like all these people that I know are already following this person. And then you end up not talking about that person for whatever reason. Rick Sands, SANS. That's that's another one, dude, that I wasn't following, but has a lot of just great little resin pieces, dude. And actually, on the last day, Fletch sent me on a mission to go snag a couple pieces. And while I was there, I was like, oh shit, how did I miss all these? So I ended up buying a couple pieces. And then I've chatted with him quite a few times since Decon and made a couple other purchases because they're cool, cheap resin pieces, dude. I mean, you know, a Matchbox van, you know, a Matchbox car is something I can remember having from, you know, way back, one of the first things, you know, and then somebody casts it and you're like, oh shit, that's actually pretty cool.
I couldn't figure out for a second there why the name sounded so familiar. And it must have been you that shared this with me this week. Because this piece here, yeah, this is what originally caught my eye. I ended up sharing this with Vomiting Droids as well, where I was like, yo.
Yeah.
Melt your face on that a second.
Right. Yeah, really. So anyways, I don't know if you looked at you know, the under 30 that I'm looking at right now, dude. I think we actually already talked about those. I actually saw you going back and forth with Toxic Fumes a little bit. Toxic Fumes had some stuff on there for really cheap. And then the other one that I saw, I think we actually already talked about him, was Wonder Goblin. Wonder Goblin has those little pocket pals, $7. Like, come on, dude, go get you some Wonder Goblin for $7. Look in the couch and find it. It's there. But you know,
he's got some great blanks, man. $7. Here, guys, I'll even pull it up and I'll show the link in a second here as well. He is definitely somebody we've pulled up before because, in my opinion, one, he's done so much for the vinyl community in regards to the painting, but the fact that you can actually get these guys, paint them up, and you actually have now just done a Wonder Goblin collab. You've just painted a Wonder Goblin piece.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right, dude. I mean, like,
just putting it out there.
Dude, $7 for a blank. That's pretty sick.
Yeah. Wonder Goblin is such a humble dude. Yeah, Mecha Ducky, I'm with you. If you guys haven't actually as well, Wonder Goblin has a really fucking awesome little short film, I guess, that exists out there. It's actually good. Really good. If you're into like Adult Swim weird shit, check it out.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, man.
We got, dude. What else we got, man?
You know what? I'm tabbed. I don't have any more other tabs or anything, man. Admittedly, my tabs were so disorganized tonight that it was a little bit of a combo of under $1,000 and $30 pieces and drops coming up, all just kind of mashed together. I had some of Drew Baby's stuff pulled up here because I was kind of hoping Plagued Earth would pop in with us, but things happen. But if you guys aren't familiar, we did mention it earlier. Blank Friday is happening. They are dropping the Spermetheus. And I know that they're actually working currently on, it looks like a figure that we'll probably see some posts about in the next little bit. So they might even be in the shop kind of chiseling away at that. But yeah, get you some of the Spermetheus tomorrow if you get a chance.
Yeah, dope, man. I saw some of those War Pigs actually, and the Spermetheus. I think it was Spice Dream Toys who won that giveaway that we did a while ago, and I actually hand delivered that to him at Decon, but that ended up being kind of like a blue blank. But those are cool, man. I mean, the War Pig especially, dude. That's a great vinyl piece right there, man. I don't have a lot of stuff, but that's an awesome one.
I really like the Trojan War Pigs, man.
Yeah.
The ones that have the resin piece that fits inside. Amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, hey, one thing that we didn't do tonight was a giveaway, which is fine because we didn't I didn't really advertise it, but we do have a lot of good stuff for giveaways. So maybe we'll just double up next week and start pumping some of this stuff out here for the holidays. But
fair, man.
yeah, we got some good stuff coming up. So we're probably sitting on like at least 5 or 6 really, really solid giveaways right now. So
I like how I can tell you're like looking at them like, yeah, oh yeah. There's a pile of goodies to go on out into the world.
well, it's funny, dude. Like I said, since I've been rearranging everything, and I'm just kind of like sticking stuff everywhere now. So I see some to my right, and then I see some to my left, and then I see one here. I'm just like, damn, we do have some cool shit going on right now. So, which is fun.
Yeah, man, I'm fucking stoked to get on out there. It'll be dope, dude. And I know that if anything, we should probably talk to. Oh my goodness, this is where my brain is at tonight, guys. We were just looking at them, the beautiful backers with the fold up over plastic. They're itching to come in
Dark
as well.
Rainbow.
So I'd love to have Dark Rainbow come in and chat their ear off, see what the fuck's going on.
Yeah, exactly, man. And that's something I will definitely talk to him about. They're in Australia, so they're like Friday morning right now, I believe. So it will just depend. I know it works good for Titty Bean, but it may not work for somebody else. But yeah, that would be awesome if we could get them on and at least talk about those. They have some just insane, wild, cool work going on. Northwest 80th. Happy Turkey Eating Day. Yes, same to you. Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving. What do you say, man? Call it there. Reconvene.
Call
and
it
see
there.
Everybody on the next Thursday.
Call it there. Yeah. I think we're back into the grind next week, man. Next week
Regular swing.
Feel like we're back kind of back on track with the regular stiff.
Tonight felt like a weird one, man.
It did. You know what? It was I came in late, and it being Thanksgiving, I wasn't sure how many people were going to be on here, but thank you for opening up at 7:00 as we get it started and get everything rolling here for the first hour and a half.
I'm sure you're in the same boat, man. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out, because I don't think either one of us knew what the turnout would be like tonight, and we just wanted to hang out with the homies because, like, I'll admit, as corny as it is, I'm thankful for you dudes and B to the J and all of you who chime in every Thursday. Makes life a little fucking better.
Absolutely, man. Me and O'Keefe were talking earlier today, and I said, man, I'm thankful that I have a place to go and talk to people about rad shit like toy art and discuss it on an open forum like this, and kind of promote people and pieces. And you're right, man. Lots to be thankful for. Very cool.
This is life. That's I literally, like, I at least once a day something happens in the toy world where I go, how is this real life? How is this real life? This isn't real life.
It's crazy, man. It really is a lot of people working together, not only just artists, but like, dude, isn't it weird? Like, you get everybody, you get like consumers and buyers and promoters and people doing cards and people doing graphics, and then people doing casting, people doing painting, and everybody's just kind of like working together to produce all this really wild shit, dude. And it really doesn't feel like a segmented community. It really feels like it's all kind of working in unison with each other, which is, and that's where the part where it's wild. That's where it comes in. You're just like, what the fuck, dude? You know what I mean?
If anything, it's funny when it happens behind your eyes, when you're not even paying attention, when literally you're like, you have no idea 2 artists are working on a collab or 3 artists are working on a collab. And then I would say the Broids by General Porpoise and fucking a Folklorian.
Yeah. Good one.
It's like, where did that come from? We didn't know you guys were working on that. And then you just have a wave of them.
Yeah. Oh, and by the way, it's going to be a DKE at DCon. So it's just like, oh yeah, all right. That was cool, man. That was very cool. You know what was cool, dude, is what was very cool to see, I'll be 100% honest, dude. It was very cool to see Dove come over to Fletch's booth and take a look around and pick up pieces and make some purchases and ask questions. And it's cool, dude. You know, I'm not saying, you know, he's the king of kings, but I'm saying that, you know, when someone recognizes what's going on and they can see it, and to the point where they're like, hey, I want to go see what that's about, and hey, I want to get in on a purchase. I think
he's got his finger to the pulse, man. Dove has his finger to the
absolutely,
pulse.
for sure. And that was cool to see, man. That happened while I was at the booth, just kind of looking into it, seeing what was going on, and that was really cool, man.
Yeah, man. Dove does a lot for the community, whether we want to acknowledge it or not, all the time. He's a gem, man.
Yeah, for sure. Uncle Spank, yeah, dude. Next week, I know Uncle Spank's got some stuff. He's got some packages to open next week, so that'll be fun.
Not only packages to open, did you know Uncle Spank actually used to run a toy store and actually still sells toys, like vintage toys and shit, dude? Yeah, it'll be a blast. We'll have a blast chatting with him, man.
Yeah, absolutely. The skilled one, that is so funny. Like 50. He says, how many times did I see Dead Boy? I saw him a lot. A lot. I just it seemed like we were just kind of always in the same place at the same time. But if you guys want to see an insane collection, look up Dead Boy on YouTube. He's got some walkthrough videos with Justice Curry. And I believe it's at least 2 parts, but that will blow your fucking mind. Do you think my collection is large? Take mine and multiply it by 10. That's Dead Boys. It's nuts.
I see collections sometimes, and I sit there just being like, what am I even looking at? And admittedly, there was one in the saved post today that it wasn't even a toy maker or a toy seller. It was a collection that I had saved simply because I was like, that is massive.
Yeah.
And let me pull it up here because you don't realize the scale of what exists out there sometimes, right? Like, you know that like this collection's way bigger than your own, but you sure as heck aren't expecting what you find sometimes. That wise 19 something.
Oh, dude, you know what? I almost sent you a message today, and I was looking at that. He made a post today, and it was like 2 brown pieces, right? And I was thinking to myself, what if that dude just made his own pieces? Like, he was just producing squads at his house. That'd be crazy.
I don't understand sometimes how like time. I don't know, time. Just an insane collection.
It's crazy, man. Wow.
I don't even know what this is, but we could geek out looking at that shit forever, man. Catch you next Thursday.
Next Thursday, my man. I will be
All
here.
right, dude. I love it, man. Try and have a good night, dude. I appreciate you coming in.
Take it easy, man. Have a good one, everybody. Thanks for popping in.